Oh, that's nice.
I mean, I think it's very useful. Like, let's just think of our dental appointment, our dental example here that we're working on, right? You want to send a a confirmation message, or maybe something else, or like reminders or things like that. So I
That's
think that
great, but would you need to have this A to P approved?
A2P is going to be, it's going to have to be a thing. So we'll see how we handle that. Yeah, more information will come out. So um, in a few
Yeah,
weeks.
great.
Cool. Awesome, guys. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here, like I said, we're going to be splitting this into two agents. Here we have our, this is the same agent. We have one for cal.com and then one for GHL. All I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one because I want to make one specifically for existing patients. And we're going to be using an inbound webhook. So I'm going to show you how that works. So I'm just going to rename this for returning patients. And because they're going to be returning, we're going to have all of their information already in our system. So we don't need to go through asking all of these things, right? We don't need to ask them if they're returning because we already know they are. We can get rid of this whole new patient experience. Again, we don't need their name or anything like that. So I'm just deleting these. Sorry, my thing is not, okay, there we go. Just gonna delete all of this. I should actually delete it beforehand. We don't need that either. I'm just getting rid of like all the ask me for a phone number or like email address because we will already have it. You could ask them to verify it if you wanted to. In this example, I'm not, but if you wanted to, you could. Okay, cool. So we have our user wants to book an appointment here. And because they're going to be returning, we are just going to welcome them back. And we can actually even customize this too by saying we can greet them by their name. You're going to see how this is going to work with dynamic variables. So we can say, hi, patient name. And we could greet them by their name. And then we can thank them for calling. And then for the appointment booking, we're just going to find out what sort of issue they have. We don't need to ask them about insurance. All we really need to ask is, when do you want to come in, right? What issue are you facing and when do you want to come in? So I'm going to go back all the way to my schedule function here, which is just a native function that we use from cal.com. Oops. Wish I could drag all of these at the same time. I think that's...
If you hold the shift button, maybe you can select all the items.
I tried. It didn't work. I know. Yeah, so, okay. So I'm going to do, so I'm just going to connect these nodes, right? So we got the issue that the customer was facing or the patient was facing. We're going to check the billability. Again, this is pretty much the same stuff that we had built previously. We'll give them those available time slots. And then we are going to book that appointment. Now, this booking function is going to have to change a little bit, and you're going to see why. But we're just going to book that appointment. And then lastly, we're going to end that call. Cool. So that's pretty much it. All I did there was just clean it up because we're going to have this information. So now I'm going to go back. Please let me know if I'm going too fast or something. In phone numbers, we're going to be adding an inbound webhook. So I'm actually going to delete this and I'll create a new one. I'm just going to go to, you can use whatever's here. I'm going to be using N8N. And I'm going to create a new workflow. And I'm going to be adding a new inbound webhook here. And I'm just going to use a production URL. I'm going to change this to a post request. And I'm just going to copy this. And then in retail, I'm going to put this here in the inbound webhook. I'm just going to paste that in there. Just like that.
And again, cool. The only difference between entering the inbound webhook here and from the agent is this way, it's not even going to reach the agent. So it's not even going to interact with the voice and the machine learning. It's just going to deviate the call as per the automation. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, well, before, because this recently changed, right? So before you would put it at the agent level because that webhook was only for that agent, if that makes sense. But now you can technically, it's not at the agent level, it's at the phone number level, because you can have one phone number with multiple agents.
Oh,
Technically, like we could all call the same phone number, and depending on who we are in the CRM, we would speak to a different agent. So that's actually more powerful than having it at the agent level. Hopefully that makes sense.
yeah, it does. Makes sense.
So, and here you can see, for example, in this phone number, I haven't assigned it to anything, right? Haven't assigned it to any particular agent or anything like that. Now what's going to happen is, oops, what was that? What's going to happen is when I call this, and I don't even have to listen for a test event or anything like that. All I'm going to do is just activate it, and I'll give this a call, and you're going to see what sort of information we get there. So let me just call this really quick here. Okay, and it just hung up right away, and that's fine because there's no agent connected to it. But what we got in this request is a call inbound, and then we got the phone number and then the phone number of the agent. So now we can do stuff with this. And I'm going to copy to editor. I clicked on my executions, and then I'm going to click on copy to editor so that we can do something with this. And what I want to do is here in this response, I want to change this to when the last node finishes. Just like that. And now that I have that phone number, I can search, for example, like my CRM for this data. So I have this very simple Airtable database here. You can see it just has a first name, last name, phone number, email, and insurance. And I want to be able to pass this information. I first want to check this database for that patient, right, that pretend patient. And if they're found, get their information. And if they're not found, then do something else, basically. So are we all good so far?
So we'll track the caller ID of the caller, and if it's in the database, it's going to go and send it to the agent with already client. If it's not found in the database, it's going to go to the new receptionist client, right? The first one we did.
Yeah, so we're going to do, we'll call this our general one. If they are not in the database, they're just going to go to our general receptionist, if you will. And if they are in our database, then they're going to be going to this returning patients.
Got it.
Cool.
Cool.
Now, to get your credentials, it's going to be very simple so that we can communicate with Airtable. All we got to do is click here, and I believe we're actually going to click on let's see, integrations. No, that's not it.
Builder Hub.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Well, there you go. So Builder Hub. Well, we'll go here, and then we're going to click on Personal Access Tokens. And I already created one, but you can create a separate one. So I'm just going to click here. I'll give this a name. I believe I can actually leave the scopes. But I can just define what I want this to access, which is going to be like checking, writing. I don't need comments or anything like that. And that's pretty much it. I've created my token, and then I'll copy this. And in 8N, you can just click this little plus, and we'll just search for Airtable. There's already a connection built for you. So you're going to do is click search. And what we want to do is get records. So let me see, get records, get a record, search records, actually, search records here. And the credentials, if you haven't set it up before, you're going to want to click on new credentials and then just paste your API token there. And you can just give this like a name right here. And we can save this. Perfect. And I can exit out of this. So now, when you click on this, it should load up your list. So let me see. Let me load up my other credentials. Okay. So we have retail tutorials here. And then I'm going to select my patients database. And then I want to search for them. And if you've never used Airtable formulas, I'm going to paste it here, which is very, very simple. We're just saying, like, find this phone number. Now here, I hard coded it. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to just actually delete this. And I can just drag this from here. We have the from number. So we got this from number from that inbound call, right? So we can use that to search for the user. So I'm going to paste that in there. I'm actually fix it because I pasted it in the wrong. And I'm going to paste it between here. So now this will automatically search Airtable. It's going to search the phone number of column. So if I go back to my Airtable, it's going to search this column right here, this phone number. And when it finds a phone number, it's going to return it. So if I click test, you see, so now we have our phone number there. And from here, we can do something else. So you have a question there? I thought I had seen someone raise their hand. I'm not sure if. Nope, we're all good?
Accidentally raised it.
Okay, no worries, man. Okay, cool. So we got our contact. So now we can go ahead and do something with this. So I'm going to add a switch node here. All this is going to do is going to check to see if there is a contact. So this contact ID, I'm just going to drag it in here. And I want to make sure that it's not empty. If it's not empty, it means that there's a contact in there. So I'm just going to change this to contact status. And then we want to add one for when the contact is now found. So I'm going to click on options and I'm just going to add a fallback. This is typically going to be like if we didn't find the contact or if there was some sort of error and we can't get that contact information, then we just want to return back the general assistant there. So we'll do extra output. I'm just going to rename the fallback output as not found. Cool. So now if we test this, I can see that I get this same data back and I can send that data over to retail. So now all we got to do is respond back to retail. And I'm going to use a code node here. And we're just going to return some information here. And I'm going to pull up the documentation so we can take a look at what we can return. I think it's our dynamic variables. Let me see here. Okay, perfect. So this is what we need to send. Oh no, this right here. This is what we need to send back to retail here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it. And I am going to go back here. I'm just going to paste this in here, just like that. So here, we got to paste that URL of that agent that we want to make the call to. So in this case, it's going to be our returning patients because we found the contact. So I'm going to grab that ID here, and I'm going to paste it here. And then these dynamic variables, these can be anything that you want. So in this particular prompt, I'm using, for example, patient name. So here, I want to create this dynamic variable. And I'm just going to paste it in here. And this patient name, we're just grabbing it from the Airtable database. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill this in. And I'm just going to do the first name. You could do the full name if you wanted to, just like that. I might also want to pass other stuff like, and this is, okay. I might want to pass other stuff like the phone number. Technically, I already have it, but the email address. So I can pass that, and I can just drag this here.
Insurance.
Yeah, there you go. So the insurance. If I spelled it right. So we can drag the insurance. Okay. So like that. And then metadata, you could pass metadata. This is actually a great spot to put things like contact ID. We don't have one here in Airtable, but if we did, you could add something like a contact ID. That way it's easier for you to search for this later on. Here, I'm just going to put random stuff here.
Hey, Alex, what's the difference between like the metadata and the dynamic variable? Like,
So the metadata that you can't access like in the prompt.
oh, you can't. But
The dynamic variables, you reference them within the prompt itself. That's where you can see that I have like patient name, but the metadata, it's not. So maybe like contact ID is a good example to put here. Maybe you want to put like an API key. That could be another.
Can you put in like, so this would be like the go high level ID, right? You can pop that in there and then you can push it back out to use it later on.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Literally that. You could put the contact ID level in here. Yep, exactly that. So that's a perfect example.
Cool, thanks.
Yep, no problem. Let me just check something here. Okay, so let's give this a shot here. This should be returning patient first name and email, all this other stuff. So let's go ahead and give it a call. And that should also be routing me to this particular phone number. So let's give this a shot and see how it goes. I'm gonna save this. I'm just gonna give this a call and we'll see.
Input first.json first name. Thank you for calling Retail Dental. Mia speaking. How may I help you?
Hey, Mia. Thanks. So let's listen to that. What happened there? I'm pretty sure I got the name wrong there, but the call came in. There's my phone number. You can see that it found me. And then we found the contact, and then we returned this value. But here you can see that I have this input. It's all weird. So actually, I think all I got to do for that. Let me just fix that. Actually, I didn't need to add these here. That's what the issue was. If I do it now, you can see that it works correctly. So that's what the issue was. So now if I should call it, it should answer, hey, Alex. Hopefully you guys can hear.
Thank you for calling Retail Dental. Mia speaking. How may I help you?
Hey, what's my name?
Hi, Alex. Thank you for calling Retail Dental. Mia speaking. How can I assist you today?
Cool. Thanks, Mia. Okay. So we can see that it went to that agent, right? Now we can also, if we don't have the contact information, we can reroute it to a different agent. So I'm going to just duplicate this. I'm going to change it here. And we're going to return the same stuff, but now we're going to return a different agent ID. And we're obviously not going to have variables. So I don't want to return them. So let me go back to retail here. I'm just going to select a different agent, like this general one. I'll copy the agent ID. And then I'll just paste it in here. Just like that. Now, I don't have the patient name anymore or the insurance and stuff like that. So I don't want to return that, but I might want to return the phone number. That way, if I ask the user, like, can you verify that this number is the best number to reach you? I can like tell it to them instead of them telling it to me, right? Because like phone numbers are a little bit tricky there. So I do want to store the user's phone number here as a dynamic variable. That way I can use it later. And then this is going to be coming from to be coming from our webhook here. So actually, it's going to be this one. I'm just going to copy this. It's going to be the same phone number. Yeah, let me do that. It's actually going to be this one here.
So did you have the phone number assigned to one flow
I think
specifically?
you missed a bracket when you copied it.
No, yeah, actually the phone number, I can't grab it from the bracket because it's actually coming in from the webhook. So let me delete myself now from Airtable. That we can kind of go through that. But sorry to interrupt. You had a question?
Yeah. What I was trying to understand is, did you have one general flow when a user makes a phone call and then it hits the webhook and then it sends it to a different flow? Is that how you're setting this up, or were you returning it all back to the same flow?
Yeah, I'm returning it. I'm not sure if I understand actually.
What I was understanding in the beginning, or what I was thinking, was that you had someone call in, and then if they're a returning customer, it sounded like you were setting up a whole different flow with that information. Or are you just using one same flow for new customer, returning customer, everything like that in between?
Yeah, we're using one webhook to send people to different agents. But technically, one webhook, you can send them to hundreds of agents if you wanted to.
Yeah, but every agent is a different flow technically within retail.
Yeah, exactly. Every agent within retail is a different flow. So even though right now, like the agent that I showed you is like a conversational flow, I could send them to anything else. So,
but you have the original phone number assigned to one primary one, and if they, with the inbound, if they see that they're returning one person, then it'll be assigned to a different flow based on.
Yeah. Now in retail itself, I don't have it assigned to an agent. The phone number is not assigned to an agent. You see, it's not assigned to anything.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Because I'm making that decision through this workflow, right? Here, we're saying is if we found them, we're going to return one agent. But if anything else, if it's any other sort of contact, which means we didn't find them, then we're returning a general agent, which this would be my default agent, if you will.
Got you. Okay, now I understand. Thank you so much.
Yep, no problem. And then here, again, we're just returning that default agent.
Alex, one quick question too. Hey, would you be able to do this based on time and then reroute instead of an agent, but reroute to the office on one, and then the agent that would pick up, let's say, after hours?
Yep. Literally, I literally have an exact same scenario for that.
You do? Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was working on too.
But you see, so here's our general one. I forgot if I copied this or not. I'm going to replace this really quick here. Oh, I was already there. And then for the user phone number, I want to pass I would just want to collect the user's phone number. And the way we're going to grab that is, I'm just going to copy this. Just because our user phone number is actually, sorry, no, that's, I got lost. Let's execute this and then we'll see. Let me delete myself from Airtable here. Okay, perfect. So now we shouldn't get a contact. And if I run this again, let's, let me see. Yep, you should be able to run this. So let's test this. I got to output data here. Always output data. Test. There's nothing. Cool. It's empty. So now if I test this, not found. So now it's going to return this one here. And I want to grab the user's phone number, which we got from the inbound hook right here from number. So all I got to do is just drag this in here. And if I return this, actually, I got to get rid of that comma. And if I return this, then I have the user's phone number. Perfect. So now we can save this. And now if I call it, now that I'm not in Airtable, I should speak to the other agent, which is this general one. And just to change it up, we'll put something so we can clearly see. I don't even know what that's going to say.
Tell them it's agent 002, huh?
Whatever. So, man, I can't spell. Jesus. All right. So now, if we give this a call, we should talk to this agent because I'm no longer in Airtable.
Hi there. Thanks for calling Impressions Dentistry. Today we're offering a special on teeth whitening 20% off for new patients. How can I help you today?
Cool, thanks. You see, just like that, we now talked to a different agent. Any questions on that? Does that make sense there? Or like why we even want to do that in the first place, maybe? Sebastian,
Well,
you
that's
have
a good question. But I will. Oh, sorry. But that was a great question. But I mean, there's a lot of reasons I could think of right now in order to the whole idea about routing calls as per the caller ID to different agents. It just opens the the umbrella of possibility for endless scenarios. So I think this is pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, it is. You can do a lot of stuff with it, and it makes your agents, like I said, I think it's a better experience for everyone involved. Maintenance wise, the customer wise, yeah, and that way you don't pack too much into an agent, at least. Yeah.
So it would be better for one agent to book appointments, for another to have a knowledge base, and so on.
They can have the same knowledge base. You don't have to. They can all share the same knowledge base. I don't have a knowledge base here in this particular account, but they could all share the same knowledge base.
I mean, you have different functionalities.
Yeah.
You could have one have customer data, right? Like, and then the other one wouldn't. Like if they're not an Airtable, then you wouldn't have like whatever specific HIPAA compliant stuff inside there. So less of a chance of it kind of passing that data out.
Alex, this is my first time joining the call here. Sorry, I will review the beginning of the call, but I joined a little late. This webhook that you're doing to determine which call it goes to, is that on a specific number, or how did you set up that?
Yeah, that's on a specific number. The webhook is, before it used to be at an agent level, which I know that can be confusing. It's at a phone number.
And where did you? Oh, it's right there. I see. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, and that webhook is always just going to give you. It's always just going to send you this right here. That's what
I'm actually a Thoughtly user, so this is very interesting. You guys have some very cool stuff built into here.
I've been interested about Thoughtly. I've tried it out a while back, so I haven't tried it recently.
Yeah, they're still new, but you guys have seemingly a lot more features available. So
yeah, we have a lot more coming. So yeah, glad to have you here though. Any other questions, concerns on any of this?
How would you route how are you routing your time one? Are you routing it inside
Oh, my timeline. Yeah, I'll show you.
But are you doing it in N8N, or are you doing it in where you're?
I am doing it in N8N. Actually, I have another one. Let me see. I am using it in N8N.
Very happy that you use N8N. Are you going to potentially make a community node for it?
A community node for what, retail?
N8N and retail, yeah.
That would be interesting, but yeah, I don't know.
It'd be good for adoption. I mean, you guys obviously have a nice API, but just curious.
Yeah, well, we're building a bunch of like N8N blueprints that you guys can download to connect to whatever. So, but really quick here on the to your question, Ivan.
Yeah.
So here in this example, this one's for a dental. This is for an actual dental practice. But what we do is the same concept. We're getting the user's calling. We check GHL for that contact information. Let me see if I can actually give you an execution. I don't know if this was it, but here we got the phone number. We then search for them in GHL, and here I found them.
You might want to, later on edit out that bearer.
It's okay. They're dummy accounts. So
okay, you're good.
If anyone wants to play around with the bearer token and see if it works and waste their time, be my guest. But here we do the same thing. We search for the contact. We get the contact. Once the contact is found, then we want to check the time. We only want to transfer them over to an agent if they are during business hours, which is this, right? We check the time. We want to make sure that they are between Monday and Friday from 9 a.m. and then 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Fridays only. And if they're within that, we're going to return one agent. And if they're not, we're going to return another agent. Exact same concept that I just shared with you guys.
Are you doing for that agent? Are you able to pass it off right to the office without them even talking to the agent?
Well, on this example, they want the agent to talk to the customer. So
I got some guys that they're what they want is GHL won't. So that right now I'm updating the time inside of GHL to kind of run through, right, for the phone number, whether it transfers to the office or not, right? So I have a guy just goes in there and manually does it every day, kind of after hours.
Okay.
So in this way, it would be with the agent. Are you able to just pass off? So if it goes to the agent, can it instantly transfer over to the next?
I mean, I suppose it could.
Yeah, that's kind of
There's
what.
probably, but there's probably a more elegant way to handle that than like having an agent just make
Yeah.
the transfer. There's probably a different way. Cool. Any other questions? I think I saw another hand raised there. What works I'm working on? Let's see here. Steve, what's
I got
up?
one question, Alex. Yeah. So I guess you're gonna go through this later on, but I just popped. You were going through the time intervals, and I just popped a question. So, this is just for me to understand the logic behind all of this, right? So when is the time in order to split an agent? For example, technically speaking, you can add, business hours and after hours, to handle all to one agent. Now, as per my experience, it can hallucinate sometimes, but I just want to know what is the barrier in order to say, okay, maybe we need to move this and split this agent to handle one agent for business hours and another for after hours. Now, this is just one scenario, but in overall thinking, how can we determine, besides, through severity testing, when to split an agent in order to facilitate a specific request? Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and it's a hard question to answer because it really depends on your use case scenario. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but it really depends. I can't give you like a guidelines, right? But let's back up to the previous example. The reason they're breaking it up into two, and the reason that we even decided is because during business hours, when the customers are talking to the voice AI agent, there's no one on the other side that can actually talk to the customer, right? And the goal of that particular agent is to transfer them over to a human staff to complete their appointment booking. So we have that agent. Now, after hours, there's no staff. There's no one there. So therefore, the agent's only job is to tell them, hey, I'm sorry, no one is available right now, but Monday or the next business day, we're going to go ahead and reach out to you. Then we get a summary of that call, and then we send it to the client's CRM.
So a good guideline will be like if the workflow is totally different between two scenarios, for example.
Yeah.
I think
Also, again, I would also say that like if we just compare this, if we talk about latency and like about giving too much an agent, right? If we give an agent to do too much, it could increase latency, it could increase hallucination, and all that stuff. In this agent that we're building here, again, we haven't even done a whole lot, but you can just see the new user, the new patient flow. We have to request so much information from them, right? Just to get them onboarded, insurance, name, right? All that information. But if they're already an existing patient, then we can skip all that and make it a better experience for the other user. So yeah, I'm not sure if that may even make sense.
It does. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, no problem. Any other question? Oh, Sebastian, what's up?
Hi, Alex. I was wondering, when you're implementing this kind of system to a client, do you buy him a number and after that he like set up the routing from his own telephony, or does one just put the new number on his website or something like that?
It depends. So right now, we find that most integrations are done through SIP trunking. Most customers have a phone number that they're using through Nextivia or whatever provider that they have, and they want to keep that phone number. So we use SIP trunking to accomplish that. Sometimes it's okay. Like we have another one where like they already have an IVR system, so they press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish as an example. So that can easily we just add a phone number there, and it just gets transferred over to us. Not much to do. But we find that most are involving SIP trunking. But this is typically for like enterprise. Yeah. I'm not sure that.
Okay. So because I potentially have my first client soon, so I was wondering how could I do that? Do I have to like log into his telephony account and do the way trunking?
One of the questions that you always have to ask during your discovery call or kickoff call, typically discovery call, is like what telephony system that they're using. So ask them what system they're using, and then from there that will give you your answer. Like if they're using Nextivia as an example, well, Nextivia supports SIP trunking, so you didn't even have to ask them. I mean, you could, but you already know that you can accomplish that through SIP SIP trunking. If they have something like dial pad is a pain in the ass. They don't support SIP trunking. So now you have to do something else for that. So definitely, I think asking them, like at the discovery call, what telephony system, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Any other questions, concerns on any of this?
One more
Nope.
for me.
What's up?
Sorry. So now that we're using the webhook on the phone level, that clears up a window to add another webhook on the agent level. Or will that contradict the flow? For example, we routing the calls as per the caller ID on one webhook on the phone number, but then when we reach the agent, let's say we want to do something other stuff with them, other automation, will that still work?
Yeah, but the agent level, and I know that can be a little confusing. This agent level webhook, this one is only specific for this agent because this is the one we're using to get the call started, call ended, and call analyze events, which gives us a transcript of the call recording and things like that. So this is different, and this is at an agent specific level here. This one at least.
Yeah, but we can still, like, even though, yeah, this will still work. We can still add webhooks on this page on the agent level, regardless if the phone number associated with the agent have another webhook, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, is that agent level webhook post webhook or pre? What is that one?
Yeah, post, and I can show
Post?
you how it works. If you guys want to see, we can create one. That way, you guys can see the events that are coming into that webhook.
Yeah.
So
I would
we'll
like
make
the post call analysis event coming into that agent level webhook.
So we'll do a very simple one. We're just gonna add a webhook.
I like
It's
how
gonna
you
be-
guys do it with Thoughtly. They do it on their automations. You got to manually do it for every single one, but it's nice that you guys allow that on a specific agent level.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna grab my post and let's go back to retail. So let me see what agent this is. Oh, this is GHL. No, I clicked on the same one. So I'm just gonna paste that in there. Cool. And now if I call this, let me actually turn this on. And here, I'm also going to show you, I'm going to paste that same webhook in another agent. Technically, you can still use another agent. That way you could see what happens when you add the dynamic variables. So first I'll give you some ideas there. So just give me a second there as well. Okay, so let's give this a call now.
Hey there. Thanks for calling Impressions Dentistry. Today we're offering a special on teeth whitening, 20% off for new patients. How can I help you?
Yeah, can I, I'm interested in teeth whitening. Can I schedule an appointment for next Thursday at 9 a.m.?
Got it. Before we schedule, are you a new patient with us or have you visited Impressions Dentistry before?
Yeah, I'm a new patient.
Welcome to Impressions Dentistry. Since you're a new patient, can you tell me a little more about what's bringing you in? Is it just the teeth whitening or do you have other dental needs you'd like us to address?
Yeah, I just need a teeth whitening and just looking for cleaning.
Got it. Can I get your full name to set up the appointment?
Yeah, it's Alex Rodriguez.
Thanks, Alex. Do you have dental insurance? If so, could you let me know the type?
Yeah, I have a Delta Dental, but I don't have it with me, like in front of me right now.
Perfect, Alex. We do work with Delta Dental. If you don't have your insurance ID number handy right now, you can share it with us later. Would you like me to go ahead and book your appointment for next Thursday at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, let's do it.
Great, Alex. Please remember to bring your insurance card with you when you come in. Can I get your birth date to complete the booking?
Yeah, it's January 1st, 1995.
Thanks, Alex. Can I grab your phone number to finalize the appointment?
Yeah, 310-980-0702.
Thanks, Alex. Could I also get your email address to send you a confirmation for the appointment?
Yeah, alex28@gmail.com.
Thanks, Alex. Let me spell out your email to confirm. alex28@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. Your appointment is all set for next Thursday at 9 a.m. If you need to reschedule or have any questions, just give us a call. Anything else I can help you with today?
Nope, thanks.
You're welcome, Alex. Just to double check, do you have a preferred date and time for your cleaning appointment, or would you like to schedule that later?
Didn't you just book that?
Oh, you're right. I booked the teeth whitening for next Thursday at 9 a.m. Would you like to schedule the cleaning for the same day or at a different time?
Yeah, schedule the cleaning for the same time. That's fine.
Let's check that for you. All right, Alex, I can book your cleaning for Thursday, April 17th at 9 a.m. right alongside your teeth whitening. Does that time work for you?
Yep, let's do it.
Let me book that for you. All right, Alex, I've got you booked for both the teeth whitening and cleaning next Thursday at 9 a.m. Is there anything else you'd like to ask or no?
Nope, that's it. Thanks.
You're all set, Alex? Thanks for calling Impressions Dentistry, and we'll see you next Thursday. Have a good day.
You too. All right. Bit of a long call, but I wanted you guys to see the whole thing. That way we can see the statuses. So the appointment was booked, but that's not the thing. Here, let me refresh this. There we have it. Every time on your post-call webhook, right, which is this right here, this agent level webhook, it's always going to send you 3 events, which is going to be our call started. So if I click on this, we have a call started, and this tells us what it was, right? Phone call. You can see that I have my dynamic variables, right? So these are the dynamic variables that I passed at the start of the conversation using my inbound webhook. Now, the reason that this is so great is because if you need to update your CRM, you could pass in the metadata that contact ID or anything else, and it makes it easier for you to search it on the back end. Hopefully that makes sense. It's like this, right? Contact ID. So that's what I meant. The metadata, all that stuff is still there. And then that's all that gives me in the call started. I don't have a call transcript or anything else. And then I have my call ended, which is the second event that we get here. Call ended. And this has more information. It has my transcript. You can see that it has my transcript object. The tools that I called, right? So I called the different notes transitions here. Now it's a lot. We went through a whole bunch of notes. So I'm just going to minimize this. We have latency, the cost of the call, and that's pretty much it. Right, recording URL. There we have that there too.
How much does that cost? You guys are what, 7 cents a minute? Is that what you guys are?
It depends on what model. Let me see what that's called.
22 cents.
I think you start at 12 cents is the standard, and then depending what you're popping in.
Yeah, for all. So then this gives you a complete breakdown. And then the last one is our call analyzed here. And then this one's going to contain additional information, which is going to, it still has a transcript, still has a transcript object. But if you wanted to extract information afterwards, like a post-call analysis, you can do it. You still have the call recordings, the reason for disconnection, which this can be very useful. Like, did they reach a voicemail? Did things like that? This and the call status can be very useful, actually. Just in case they reach the voicemail or they reach anything like that, you can always use that to do something else. Maybe you reach the voicemail. Maybe you want to call them back like 5 minutes later, or they forwarded the call and you didn't answer. Then you can call them back. Here's the call analysis. So that's what's different between the call end event and then the call analysis. We have if it went to voicemail, user sentiment, and any custom analyzed data, which we didn't do in this example, but we could have.
Yeah. Alex,
what's up?
Do you do something special for latency? Like, because this was very good talk, so fluent, you know.
I didn't do anything for this one. We can check the settings. It's pretty standard. Just English voice. I'm using CMOS, the voice, Flash. I should even try Turbo, honestly. I should have gone with that one.
Are you using 4.0, not 4.0 mini because of performance differences that you've seen?
Yeah, we can try 4.0 mini. We can even try Flash, honestly. I'm actually curious
But
on this
even
one.
with that, this was really low latency, like
Let's try Flash. That's a
perfect
new one.
conversation, you know.
All right, when you're doing this on outbound calls, does it also send those three similar? Like if nobody answers, someone picks up
Oh,
the
yeah.
center, it'll still do it.
Yep. It will always send those. You just got to put them right at the
webhook
the
level. Hey,
Yeah.
Alex, can you customize the summary of like how you want the summary, or do you have to do that analysis part? Like say let's say I wanted him to include the, let's say like the address, right? So if they're coming in, oh yeah, we want to service this area, and they add the address, would you be able to pop that into the summary, customize it in here, or do you have to analyze it?
So you could do it through here, through the post analysis, right? So in this example, we didn't collect any information, right? But let's say I wanted to add the text, and this is going to be user's email address, right? And your example, it could be whatever service area, as an example.
Or would it be like the call summary currently, it's not as good, right? So I'd want to like customize it a little bit, because it's like the agent did this, you know, like some of the stuff you don't really need.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah, like, yeah. No.
It's just no excess words. You could probably do it in this, probably with a.
Yeah, not yet. I get what you're saying. Like, for example, 11 Labs has a capability where you can like prompt it, and you can give it multiple prompts to do it, like analysis. On this one, unfortunately, you can't. You can do it certainly through N8N through here. You know, you could pass it to like an agent on here. So we have cleared.
Yep.
Alex,
So
do
that
you know
would
what the
I was wondering if you could do it on there. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
what's the token size that you can pass for the variables through the API?
Token size for the variables? Oh, that is a great question, and I do not know. Unfortunately.
Currently in the system with Thoughtly right now, I'm using this for automated phone screens for HR. So I'm passing job description, I'm passing resume overview, and I just want to know if this can handle it as well.
I just want to ask if I can get off, so I want to work on the AI. Yes, they still haven't responded in this. I'm gonna see if they can't help me in the Discord. Then next call, I'll for sure let them know.
Hey, Joshua, you're not muted.
No. Oh, I'm so sorry.
How do I mute you? All right, there we go. Sorry, I don't know how to mute.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's a way that we can find that out, that'd be amazing. And you mentioned also recall. Do you guys have built-in recall ability within retail, or is that through the N8N logic?
I mentioned recall.
Well, like if you said like if you want to call somebody back in 5 minutes or whatever.
Oh yeah, you would do it through N8N. Yeah, through. I would definitely find the token size on the variables. If you have like an example, we can try it now at like the description to pass it as the variable.
Oh, I pass a lot of information. Like so, I get data from an applicant tracking system when someone applies for a role, and it passes tons of information to the call.
Okay. We've done one with applicants like that before, where we passed a job description and it handled it just fine. But I'm not sure how long it is. I can definitely find out though, the token size for the variable. Great question.
And is the Discord the best, like you guys, that's your central place to follow up with this?
Yeah, Discord's for like support and stuff like that. You can certainly put it on Discord.
I guess how will we follow up to once you get that answer?
Oh, you can email me, or I will also be here tomorrow.
Oh, do you do this? Do you guys? Sorry, again, this
we
is my
don't do
first
this every day. We don't do this every day.
Just...
We do this Monday and Thursdays. So I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay.
I will try to ask her. Let me ask the question now to our engineering team.
But you do this every Monday and when? Because it's Wednesday today.
Every Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Every Wednesday, Thursday. Wow, that's amazing.
So let me.
Same time, same link.
Yep.
Cool.
Hey, Alex, I had a quick question. Is there any way that you can share the JSON schema payload of the post analysis, as I think you're using N8N or whatever it's called? As you know, we're using Workato, and so it can only pick up one out of the three at a time, depending on where we are in the call. So it's either call started, or I have to turn on the listening for call ended, or I have to try to capture the post analysis somehow.
Okay. Let's see here.
The documentation, when I look at post analysis, it does not give me any schema at all.
I'm curious. You just want the body?
Yeah,
Just what you want?
I like, just give me the whole thing if you can.
Okay.
If you're able to, I don't know how you can share that, and then I can kind of build from there.
I'm curious why you use Work Auto. I was just curious. I've never heard of it before.
We use Work Auto just because we have different flows. We're using Okta and automations with identity and single sign-on, and so it's not a great idea to have multiple things like Make, Zapier, or Work Auto all in the same environment. Just use one product essentially.
Got it.
If you haven't used N8N, it's super powerful. Worth testing.
We already have some flows going on with our identity in terms of Okta and single sign-on. So I'd have to rebuild it if we're going to use that, for example.
Yeah, pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's all,
Worth it. Yeah.
it's all about costs at the end of the day.
It's worth it then, because there's a community nodes for N8N, which is basically free if you self-host.
Yeah, self-hosting is cool. That's what I have now.
It's N8N is what it's called.
Yeah, very, very powerful AI agents in it and tools as well. They're very active.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of great resources. Plus, they just got funding, so that's going to be even better. They're really building their agent tools, which is super cool. So I'm gonna send these to you, and I'll just put these like in a Google Drive, and if anyone else finds them helpful, I'll include these on here too, just in case you want to see what data is coming through.
Alex, sorry again, the first time here. That cal.com, was that an integration or is that an API call through N8N that you did that booking on that call?
That's just the native integration. The cal.com, yeah, it's just native.
It handles it well, for sure.
Yes, but also you got to keep in mind, it's only going to pass the email address. If you're trying to collect other information from the cal.com, like a phone number or other custom fields, and you're going to be best. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if tons of other questions in here, but yeah, with the other tool that I'm using, they have quite challenges with their mid-call tools. So I think I looked into your guys. You guys have tools and tool names, and you can reference them in the advanced prompt, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yes. Cool. I'm almost done here. Let's see. I think I seen someone else's hand raised there. Adolfo, you have a question?
Yeah. Hello, Alex. I made a bot with Simo in Spanish, and I have two things. One that don't understand is sometimes is speaking and stuck a lot in some words or some, and I don't understand if it's the connection or is something that I can fix.
What is it doing? Like it's
What do you say?
What's the issue?
The issue is stuck in some words. It's speaking and then stopping. It's not talking. It's stop.
Okay.
And then start again.
Got you. It's stuck. Okay. And what settings do you have on it?
I use Simo in Spanish.
Okay. And then what about like your LM and like what other settings do you have in there?
OpenAI. I don't remember now which one I'm using.
Like for the language settings, right? Like, are you using like the multilingual? Are you on Turbo?
11 Lab in Spanish. That's the word, the voice.
Okay. Can you try the multilingual, please? Because again, this one just got released like yesterday. It's very good. If you can try it.
Okay.
We can just try now.
Hey, Alex,
Okay.
there's a toggle for back channel too. Maybe he's got that on because that's the thing that goes like between the calls.
That is true. You do have your
right there, right above it, a little higher. Right.
Enable back channeling.
See if he's got that. If that's going
That could be.
I use that, but it's a long of it's very long E.
That's probably what it is. Try turning it off.
Okay.
And also, again, I think just try the new model. Let me see.
Okay.
So this new model will switch back and forth from languages if you need to?
Yep, should.
Wow.
Okay, try it out. Right, like you can see I'm just selecting multilingual. My prompt is still written in English. I'm just told it to speak in Mexican Spanish because not all Spanish is the same. So let's see if it works.
Tony, having your mind blown up.
Well, I've been using this other product for a while now, and this has got a lot more features and functionality.
Hello.
Hi there. Thanks for calling Impressions Dentistry. Today's specials include a
Can you
free
talk to me in
teeth
Spanish?
Hola. Gracias por llamar a Impressions Dentistry. Hoy tenemos una oferta especial, una limpieza de dentro gratuita con cada consulta de nuevos pacientes. ¿Hay algo en lo que
Better than I
pueda
could do.
That was not that great.
No.
That Spanish is not good. But this is Gemini. So let's actually try with 4.0.
I used GPT 4.0, see.
Because that was Gemini. But I was curious to see how to test it because I'm not sure if you guys saw the latency when we select Gemini. It actually drops down significantly.
Yeah, like half.
From like 900, so it's interesting, but maybe perhaps for like multilingual is not the best. So let's just try it. So
But isn't it like, does it depend on the voice we choose? Like if it's a Spanish voice, it will work way better, I think.
But
it will, but this should also still work better. Let's try it out.
Okay.
there. Thanks for calling Impressions Dentistry. Today, we're offering a
Hi,
special on
¿hablas
teeth whitening
español?
treatment. Hi. Thanks for calling. Today, we have a special on
Can you
teeth
talk to me
whitening
in
treatment,
Spanish,
20% off. Is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah.
Maybe booking an appointment?
Yeah. Can you talk in Spanish?
Oh, I'm sorry. I only speak English, but I'd be happy.
Okay, so now she doesn't want us. Like, bro. Let's see if we do switch a different voice. All these are American, so we have to import it. It should work. I know we've done this.
yeah, I never found a Spanish totally voice with no accent, so I use Santiago. Okay. Santiago, ¿cuál es Santiago?
Santiago, yeah, that one's a good one too. I mean, we can import them too from 11 Labs. I know on 11 Labs there's some good ones. So
But
should be
I only tried the. Oh, sorry.
Hi there. Thanks for calling Impressions Dentistry.
Can you talk to me in
Today, we're
Spanish,
offering-
please?
Hola. Gracias por llamar a Impressions Dentistry. Hoy tenemos un especial en limpieza dental.
Yeah, that wasn't that still.
When you're saying you can import from 11 Labs, is that you guys as a company or the users? We as users can import as well.
Yeah, we can import it. So we can even try that now. Right. So if I go to 11 Labs.
See, I never couldn't do that.
All right, so we go to app. Let's see here. All right, we go to
Well, I
community.
have to try again, but I feel like every time I import a voice, it just like the latency just goes off and super high.
It does add latency, so we can try that out and see how it works. Where's the library? Oh wait, you guys can hear. So let me share my audio on that thing.
No puedes culpar a la gravedad por enamorarte.
Los edificios en el antiguo pueblo vasco de Guernica fueron arrasados.
That was like from Spain. Let's see.
Sí, es cierto. Ni soy el más rico, ni el...
That one, I don't know about that one.
Soy la voz que necesitas. Seré tu voz para transmitir tu mensaje de manera profesional.
Hola, bienvenidos a Voces y Vibras. Soy Daniela y estoy feliz de acompañarte. Prepárate para buena vibra y diversión.
This one is funny.
It's Dora.
I'm gonna import this. It does sound like Dora, right? Like Daniela. So we're gonna use Daniela here.
Swiper, no swiping.
Let's try importing Daniela. That's so we're gonna go to. Oh wait, I was just there. What am I doing? So we can add a custom voice, and
You're still sharing just your tab because in Google Meet it only shares audio on that one you selected.
Oh, good old Google Meet. There we go. Okay, can't see now, right?
Yeah, you're good.
So there's Daniela. So
Oh,
and I'm
cool.
gonna
You
save
guys, that's interesting.
Ah, you find it. Okay. Daniela, finish host.
Come on, this will take a little bit of time.
Can I ask you something else?
Yeah, go ahead and ask while we.
It's the same thing. You start to talk in Spanish, and when you get a response, for example, neutral in español, she said neutral is okay, but then change, she said neutral again. I don't know why she lost in the middle and changed the language in some words.
Okay, that's interesting.
It might be a normal thing because she'll do that in English too sometimes.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like in English it'll say like my name Ivan. Sometimes it'll go Ivan or different. So it must be an 11 Labs thing.
One note on the voice settings, Alex. I don't know if you remember last week we talked about latency and which model to use, and then select the priority. Just an update for you because I know you were curious about it. The priority does work 100%, but also if you don't want to pay the extra cents, I noticed the Flash 11 Labs settings. It's pretty good. It reduced the latency significantly, and I couldn't tell between the Flash and the Turbo the quality. One is high and one is highest. Sorry.
Yeah.
High quality than music. I couldn't tell the difference between the quality, to be honest. I could tell the latency for sure. I don't know if you think about the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been able to tell too much on the difference either between the Flash. Well, at least in English, I haven't.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there, and it does make it faster. So
it does make it faster. Yeah.
All right, let's try this. Oh wait, I put English. Where did I put English?
I just want to make a note to Adolfo. I am Julian from Mexico, and what I've tried is make very strict guardrails, like saying you must speak everything in Spanish, you must say number in Spanish, you must use Spanish, and try to make on the prompt very strict guardrails. That has worked for me.
Okay, see, I use that, but anyways, sometimes made a mistake. Thank you, Julian.
Okay, gracias, de nada.
Well, I think, mistake is still something that we have to live with. Even humans do mistakes. So if it's only 10% of all calls, I usually tell this to my clients, like, it's not perfect, it's not going to be 100%, but if you reach 90%, that should be good to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, let's see here.
Thanks for calling Bench Accounting. This is Chris. How can I help?
Man, that is not.
Hey, are you calling mine?
That is not Daniela. Like,
yeah, that was mine.
What happened there? Did I not choose this?
I noticed if I import a custom voice, I usually have to refresh the page.
Thanks for calling Bench Accounting. This is Chris. How can I help?
Yeah, can you talk to me in Spanish?
Alex, you're actually calling my retail AI.
Oh, sorry.
We talked about earlier in the meeting. Yeah, that's what I keep saying. It's mine.
Oh, no wonder. Sorry.
Hey, I'm seeing here on this note, you have to press digit. That means you guys can actually listen and get like, hey, press 1 to get past.
Yep.
Wow.
That's what I was wondering. That makes so much sense. Calling the wrong one. Thanks, Eugene.
Hola, gracias por llamar a Impressions Dentistry. Hoy tenemos un especial en limpiezas dentales con un 15% de descuento y un paquete de blanqueamiento dental a precio reducido. ¿En qué puedo ayudarte?
Estoy interesado en esa oferta y también necesito un checkup.
¿Es la primera vez que visitas nuestra clínica o ya has venido antes?
Es mi primera vez.
Bienvenido. Me alegra que hayas elegido visitarnos. Además del chequeo, ¿Hay algo específico que te preocupa y que te gustaría revisar durante tu visita?
Sí, tengo una muela que me molesta mucho y me la quiero quitar.
Entendido. Vamos a ayudarte con eso. ¿Me podrías dar tu nombre completo para agendar tu cita?
Alejandro Rodríguez.
Gracias, Alejandro. ¿Qué tipo de seguro dental tienes? ¿Dentical, Delta Dental, algún PPO o no cuentas con seguro?
Tengo Delta Dental.
Entiendo. ¿Podrías confirmarme si tu seguro es un PPO o funciona de otra manera? Eso nos ayudará a verificar la cobertura.
No, no la tengo enfrente de mí.
No te preocupes. Si no estás seguro, podemos proceder como si no tuvieras seguro y luego lo confirmamos más adelante. ¿Te parece bien?
Sí, está bien.
Perfecto, Alejandro. Entonces, para confirmar, ¿no cuentas con seguro dental en este momento?
No, no tengo.
Entiendo. Entonces, ¿me podrías confirmar si tu seguro dental es Dentical, Delta Dental, algún PPO?
Man, I forgot. I already messed up my event. I forgot what I was saying. But you guys heard it.
Dora, make me.
But that was in the multilingual run. That was just the Spanish. Like, will the multilingual work
We can try
just as well?
And see
Sorry,
how that works.
just a quick question. I was just typing in here in the chat. Is it the billing rounded per minute or is it rounded to second?
It's second. Rounded to second.
Okay, good.
¿No se puede hacer un curso también en español? Porque hablan todo español, veo.
Sí, pero tengo que a ver dónde tengo el tiempo. Pero sí, también podemos hacer uno. Y también tenemos una persona que habla italiano también. Se puede hacer italiano también. Just call this. So this is going to be the multilingual.
Hola, gracias por llamar a Impressions Dentistry. Hoy tenemos un especial en limpiezas dentales con un 20% de descuento y un blanqueamiento dental gratuito con cualquier tratamiento de caries. ¿En qué puedo ayudarte hoy?
Ahora, me duele una muela mucho y también, entonces quiero ver al dentista.
Entiendo, eso suena muy incómodo.
Can you ask it to switch in language?
¿Eso sería tu primera vez con nosotros?
Es mi primera vez.
Bienvenido.
Can you
Vamos a
ask it to
ayudar.
talk English or a different language?
¿Sabes si es una muela del juicio o has tenido algún problema reciente con esa área?
Yeah, hey, sorry, you know what? My Spanish is not that great. Can you just talk to me in Spanish? I mean, sorry, in English. Sorry.
Bienvenido a nuestra clínica.
Bueno, can you talk to me in English?
Que te duele una Entendido. Bienvenido a
Oh,
nuestra
it's probably because you said you must always communicate in Spanish in your guardrails.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's try that and see. But what did you guys think about that quality on the multilingual? I know it wasn't that long, but
I'm just wondering if you can switch back and forth because that's pretty powerful if that's the case.
Let's try it.
It'd be cool if you just, as soon as you talked English, that you would roll over.
There. Thanks for calling Impressions Dentistry. Today, we're offering a free teeth whitening consultation with any cleaning appointment. Plus, we have a special discount.
¿Hablas español?
Ask if you can speak like Japanese or something too. That'd be crazy.
Hola.
Hola, gracias por llamar a Impressions Dentistry. Hoy tenemos una consulta gratuita de blanqueamiento dental con cualquier cita de limpieza. ¿Le gustaría programar una cita o tiene alguna pregunta?
Sí, quiero hacer una cita para ver a dentista porque me duele una muela mucho.
Entiendo. Lo siento por el dolor que está sintiendo. ¿Es su primera vez visitando nuestra clínica o ya ha venido antes?
Yeah, this is my first time.
Welcome. Can you tell me a little more about the pain in your tooth? Like, is it sharp or does it hurt when you eat or drink?
It hurts when I eat, I drink, especially when I drink cold stuff. It hurts a lot.
Easy. That sounds uncomfortable. Let's get you scheduled. Can I have your full name, please?
That's cool.
Sí, me llamo Alejandro Rodríguez.
Gracias, Alejandro. ¿Qué tipo de seguro dental tiene? ¿O no tiene seguro?
Sí, tengo Delta Dental.
Perfecto. Trabajamos con Delta Dental. ¿Sabe su número de identificación del seguro?
Let's get to speak French, maybe.
So
Okay. Just to confirm. All right, Alejandro.
Well, I think it would speak French, but I don't know. I don't know any French. If anyone knows here,
Yeah.
and if you want to call it,
how about
Oh,
Russian?
that's just neat.
How
That's
will the
cool.
custom variable be stored? Like, is it in English? The translation will be in English?
let's find out, right? Let's check our post call
Steve,
analysis.
sorry, does
It
Steve
definitely
work
doesn't
for?
work. I was going to say, it definitely doesn't work in Russian. I've already tested multi-language and it didn't work. Go through Russian.
Not good Russian, or it just didn't work?
No, didn't work. And I was using ChatGPT.
What about Ukrainian? I think I got it right.
I would think it's the same exact thing, just сказать.
Duh.
And you guys have been
Right,
testing the
it's not just
multilingual?
I got it running.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so I tested. Yeah, she was. I guess we were messing around, so I didn't really do a full blown test. But
Crazy.
So
Sorry, Alex, will these notes come back in English then at the post call?
well, that's what we're looking at here. Here is a post call of that call that we just had, and they are in both.
yeah,
So you can see that here. I started it off in
Oh, okay.
English, right? She greeted me in English, and then she switched over to Spanish here, and then we switched back to English. So the transcript is like that, and then we have the call summaries in English. So the call summary is going to be in English, and let's see, what else do we have? Tool calls. Yeah, so the transcript itself, it looks like, yeah, you can see. Yeah. Right there.
Okay. So then we'll have to translate again back to English and then handle that in our process.
If you wanted to. Also, another thing, trick, and I forgot who told me this. It was during one of these workshops. So shout out to whoever that person was. I should have got their name. Another thing that you can do, if you wanted to do that, is in our post-call analysis here. Let me see if this is. What we can use is something like that, detailed call summary.
Oh, and then you give the. So this would actually do that description part, like say, hey, I want the address, or give them everything that they would. Spanish.
Oh, this is good, yeah.
Mohammed, I think, taught us, Alex, I had the same question, and then he told me that this is the way to do it, and it works. It works.
There's that format kind of nice too. So then you can pop in an example of how you want the data to come out if it doesn't come out.
Yeah, exactly. You can give it the fine-tune samples here, the format format samples. So now this way we'll get the call translated in Spanish also. So I'll call it back real quick. I won't go through the whole thing, but I'll just call it back real quick, and then we can kind of see. I'll talk to it in English, and we should get a call summary in Spanish, right? So
tell Dora you want a sandwich.
Where do you enter your own OpenAI LLM keys and stuff in this tool?
You don't.
Oh, okay. So it's all run off your guys's.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, what was the question? Is it, can we use our LLM APIs?
I was wondering if we could do that, but he said no.
No, you can't. You could use your own LLM, but that would be a separate setup through like a custom LLM. That would be your own thing, though. So here,
just like OpenAI key, I was curious on.
Right.
Yes, but can we build using our conversation flow, bring our LLM to that conversation flow?
Yeah, I believe so. I would have to ask on that, to be honest, but I believe so. But I will ask if bringing your own LLM will work with the conversational flow.
Yeah, let's take an example. If we are implementing this for a bank and the bank wants to use their enterprise LLM, they will want us to use their own key which they are giving us, rather than using platform's LLM.
Okay. I will have to find out for you.
You probably want to use, what you do is you use the HIPAA to take out that. I think there's a HIPAA. Where was that little HIPAA?
I mean, there's the opt-out data, but I get what you're saying. Like you want to use, like if you have your own setup. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
What about, in that case, wouldn't you just push it over to like an N8N and then use that as a little agent inside there to?
You could, but I can see you wanting to use your own like LLM. I can see that. And that's a great question, and I will have to find out for you.
I think Assistable actually uses their own because you can type it, you can add in. So he's got something that he's popping in there, so it must be possible.
you're right. I mean, the system does have your own. You can put your own API keys in there, so he has to be using his own.
Yep.
Yep, you're right. Okay, let me test this out real quick. So I'm just we'll do a brief call so we can see that the summary was translated to whatever language.
Hi there. Thanks for calling Impressions Dentistry. Today, we're offering a special on teeth whitening treatment, 20% off. Is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, you know what? I'm having a really bad toothache, and I want to schedule an appointment for next Thursday at 10 a.m.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear about your toothache. Are you a new patient with us?
Yeah, I'm a new
Have you been
patient.
here before? Oh, it sounds like you're asking about teeth.
All right, whatever. Let's see. Let's hang up. And let's see now. Okay. So we should have, okay, call analyzed. Hi there, thank you for calling. And here it is, you see? Customize and in Spanish.
Perfect.
Just like that. So
yeah. I have another question. Can I, regarding a knowledge base, is it okay? Can we ask now?
Yeah, of course, go ahead.
I tried using a knowledge base, but it is not working as accurate as copy pasting it in the conversational node. So is there any workaround for that?
The workaround would, I mean, you have to create a custom function to call to your own knowledge base. We are aware that the knowledge base is perhaps not as accurate as it could be, and that's a high priority. So they are working on that. Like 3 weeks ago, we did a whole workshop on a knowledge base, and we had a lot of issues. We really experienced it ourselves. We went through it. We were having issues with like the address and not referencing it correctly, which was a big no-no. So some information we did end up putting within the prompt itself, but the knowledge base is something that's being worked on. What's priority right now is the knowledge base, the texting, latency, and additional languages.
What is that second one you said? Texting.
Yeah, there's a new.
SMS?
Yeah, texting.
Oh, you guys don't do SMS right now?
No, but that will be coming in like 2 weeks. 3 weeks. So there's going to be a beta coming, and it's a new feature. Yeah. And of course, we'll be doing a workshop on it and going over it and how it works and all that stuff.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, to answer your question, sorry, you can make a custom function and then reference your own knowledge base, whether it's your own RAG setup or maybe you're using something like Thrive. Yeah.
So you mean to say take that to N8N and connect it to a knowledge base? Is that what you're?
Yeah, that would be one way.
Just via webhooks, you mean?
Through like a webhook, you have to like a custom function and then reference your knowledge base, wherever that knowledge base is.
You'll add latency with that though, with the
call.
There's actually not that much. I use it for like a storage place, right? And so when they're looking for storage units, it runs in, checks it, takes like half a second. It's pretty quick.
If in this tool, if someone's calling a webhook, does it say something like hang on while I look that up, or what is?
You can.
We can.
Yeah, you could. Right here, when we go to your function, at every function you can do that. So where's my function? Right here. For example, cancel appointment. You can have it speak during execution.
Right.
So I can turn this off, and you can see that little square went away, and I can choose to just either define a prompt or give it a static message.
Oh, right on. Wait for result. That's fantastic. That would fix a bunch of my issues right now.
Yeah, and while for the custom function, why is that usually in the header there'll be a key that will be generally given, and why is it in the body when calling an API here?
Say that one more time. The custom function. Let me see. You said custom function.
How do you authorize and how do you authorize? Usually there'll be a header that will be given. There'll be a key that we can give it.
Yeah, how do you authorize that? That is dependent on your system, how you authorize it. And that's kind of what I meant earlier. When we use the inbound webhook to create that call, you could pass in the metadata an API key if you needed to, or some sort of information, right? So in the webhook, let me go back to my workflows here. I forgot which one was this one. Right, in our workflow, you could pass in the metadata an API key or some information to then reference that. Maybe perhaps you don't want to pass an API key through the metadata, but you want to put some sort of reference number where we can then reach a database and then get it and all of that stuff.
Yeah, usually that will be as a separate. Why is it passed in the body of this API? Usually that will be a separate one, right? You'll
say that one more time.
Yeah, maybe let me bring that example later in the conversation. Let me quickly show you if possible. End of this call.
Alex, can you go back to that function call? Like, when you're creating a new function, how are you passing variables? Is there like a set variables note that you call before that then? Because like you pass the JSON schema here, but if you're saying name, how do you actually?
So you're going to be collecting that through here. So let's just say that this was going to be, I don't know what we call it here, but just check availability, which is one of the most common ones. Whatever. Here you can just select the sample, and then you just customize it. This is where that's coming from. So if I take this sample, we're obviously going to customize it. Let me pull up Sublime. Okay. So this right here, this is what, this is how you tell it what information to gather. So in this particular JSON, we're telling it that we want the city, that we just want the city. But let's say you want the name, right? Patient name.
But your builder will automatically extract it from the conversation, or do you have to call a get variables?
The builder will automatically extract it. But you need to tell it.
Wow.
You need to tell it what it is, right? So
That's
patient
cool.
name, it's going to be a string, right? And it's going to be the name of the patient. Maybe you want to extract other information, right? So we can extract that. It doesn't have to be just the patient name. You can add more stuff. So maybe we want to do the patient email, right? So this is going to be the email address.
Yeah, it's similar to N8N's AI functionality where you're describing the. Okay, that's very cool.
Exactly, just like that. And then in the require stuff, right? We want we only want to call this function if we get this information. So, I might require every single one of these. You don't have to, but you could. So now we can require both of these things here.
And then you don't have to extra prompt it by saying, "Hey, make sure you get the patient email." It'll actually know because it's required that it'll ask for it.
And then I can just pop this in here. Obviously, in the prompt itself, though, you're still I don't know why that. Oh, because there's no.
What happens if it doesn't get that email? So you got both of those are required. It just doesn't shoot the.
It will ask for it.
It will ask for it. Great. Okay,
yeah.
That's what I was curious about.
What if they say no?
Then we have to call the function. Technically, it wouldn't call the function.
Yeah, I wouldn't call. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, well, we're sorry, we can't.
Okay. Yeah, you guys do things a lot differently. I think it makes more sense the way you guys are doing it. And so there's a function node. I saw you guys always had like a global node or something. So if someone mid-call anywhere says book me appointment, if you set that node to a global node, it'll just jump to that, or?
Anytime, yeah. So for example, here we have this global node for a transfer call. And this is just, we're doing this anytime a user is angry or wants to speak to a human, right? But you could do
global
that.
nodes don't have to be hooked up to the main. Oh, interesting.
They don't.
Spam's pretty
so
good.
Technically, we could do it, for example, for the end call, right? Like the end call could be a global node, like this one here. We can make this a global node.
Interesting.
The user wants to end the call.
Or says goodbye, yeah.
Okay, all right. This is both a global node, but it's also connected to this particular flow. So it works both ways.
So if you create a node that's called get appointments, you make it a global node, you say just whenever someone wants to find time, that it's smart enough to know when to jump to that node.
Yeah, you just give it that description.
Wow. Very cool product.
So you could do it like that, but yeah.
Yeah, and in the last meeting, we were discussing about common prompts for email, right? So we tested a lot of adjustments to the email and local. So like some has Indian names in it, like some with complexities in the email ID, right? When it spells out. So I'll post a prompt that we got, which is useful here. If you copy paste it to your prompts, we tested it. It is working fine. Like any complex names can also be can also be properly mentioned by an AI agent. So you
And
can.
do you put that? Are you putting that in the global kind of instructions, or is there a per node instruction set as well?
It is in the
Was there
current.
more to this?
Current.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It is not. Yeah. I don't know why there is some limitations here. Just give me a minute. Let me.
Sorry. While he's doing that, is there a per node instruction set as well, or is it just an advanced for the entire?
It is in.
No, it's per node.
You do have per node instructions as well.
So here we have this node here that's checking for the email address. Where is it at?
Right there, you just passed it.
Oops. Ask if they prefer. Oh, okay. I removed it. But we had one that's like read back the email address. So you can put that on there. Because here you can put a prompt or a static sentence. Let me see that.
Yeah.
You see when you click on this, you can use a prompt or a static.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay. And in the prompt, that's when you actually add additional instructions in there.
Yeah,
Like
so you can
per node
put like
instructions.
context or other tasks. Like you can do other stuff. Here it's just very simple, but you can put more stuff in it if you wanted to. Like
So on
what
here,
Michael
ask
said.
user for email address and make sure to read it back letter by letter kind of thing.
Yeah, just like what Michael shared.
Yeah, you can copy paste that.
So like I could.
The other thing you can do, I just tested that with my kids and stuff, you know, so if it's Ella, it'll say one message, or you can tell it if it's Natasha, it'll say, you know, like my wife, it'll tell her a different message based on the name that they're giving you. Like you
And
can
so
do.
now I can put this, I can connect these. And you see, I put all this in here. That's all the stuff that Michael shared with us right now. And I can go in there.
I lost my meat. I don't know.
So you can add all that stuff in there for sure. I'm not sure you can see. You see?
Maybe once the school is the school which you started, the school profile, right? Retail labs, we can start posting there.
Yeah, I a little delay on that. Sorry, guys.
Or you guys are creating a school community?
Yeah, it's already there. There's just I haven't had the chance to upload anything. But yeah, we're creating a school just so that we can have all these. I have a bunch of like end-to-end workflows,
very
like
cool
blueprints. So like the idea is like, here's the blueprint. Here's a video walking you through how to use it. Here's retail 101 and like everything that you could possibly need. You know, like knock yourself out.
Hey, do you guys have any suggestion for saying the names correctly too, or not?
I haven't had any issues with the names, but not off the top of my head now.
It's also per voice, and the voice model will say it differently too, right?
Yep, it's got a little bit different inflection.
Yes, the reason why, because sometimes instead of O, it takes 0, and there were some complex names, and for complex names, it was taking like that. And we tested almost around minimum of 30 to 40 names, different types of names with this email, and it worked fine so far.
It did.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, Michael.
Yeah.
No problem, Mike. Yeah, we are building a prompt database or something for common names, contact number, how to say that. So maybe once after we finish that, we can also share that to this group in your school, maybe in the coming month.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me see, what do I have to do after this? Okay. I'll work on it after this, actually. I have a couple of hours.
Your Notion template's pretty nice too. Like your first one, you probably kind of built out as you were doing them. I think you were like the design one and the other one that you did the first.
Oh yeah. I'll build it, but yes, a central pace. Because also I forgot. I don't know if he's already hopped off. I think Elvis was asking me for like how do you onboard the clients and like SOPs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a template for that. I'll share you, and we can put that in there. But let me stop sharing because I can't show some stuff. So hold on.
Was that the Milanote or the Milanote? Yeah.
No. Because you see, the thing about it, Milanote was great at the start because it's very like visual, drag and drop stuff. But as you actually work with clients, it doesn't work.
No,
it doesn't work at all. It's you need to. It doesn't work. Just
even a Google Doc works better. It's kind of what I thought. Like blow it.
Exactly.
Just toss it in there.
Let me
hey,
see.
just while you're looking that up, I saw that you guys had options for call length as well. That's a hard call length, right? It'll hang up right at that call length. Is there a way to do it so that's like 3 minutes and it's a soft?
Thank you.
like reminder of, hey, we're going to shut the call off now kind of thing instead of just hang up?
That is an interesting thing. Not right off the bat right now, but that's an interesting.
Just so it doesn't just that doesn't cut off like in mid-sentence kind of thing, right? So it's just like, hey, we're close to 3 minutes. We'll be ending the call pretty soon. Is there anything that you'd like to add at
you can probably, you know how you can do it? You can grab what time it is now, and then in 3 minutes have a node.
Well, so the thing that I've noticed with LLMs on this, because again, I've used multiple different ones, is that AI agents, the voice agents don't really do great with time management. So you might ask a voice agent, hey, how long were you speaking? And you've been on the phone for 3 minutes. It's like, oh, we've been on the phone for 15 minutes.
Yeah, the time management on that, I can see that.
There was a question from, so usually I'll be working with the enterprise customer. So they were asking what happens more than 20 concurrent calls? What will be, if I'm the 21st caller, what will happen on the call if I dial this number?
It's not going to go through and you're going to get an error. If you were to do that in any network, you're going to get an error on the concurrency. You're going to get an error. So yeah.
Is there an API call to check how many concurrent calls you have?
There
you could
sure
just loop. You could loop and then just wait for a free concurrent or a spot.
The business plan has more too if you need the bigger one, I think.
Yeah, and you can buy as many concurrent calls as you want. So
yes,
you can add more. But let me see. If you did want to do it through the API,
or concurrent call per month or something like that.
Yeah, right there.
Concurrency.
So this is actually today what is being used. And this is not your limit.
No, this is, you can just use it, but you can add as many as you want.
No. So my question was, if you had 15 calls going on right this second and you call that API call, does it give you a 15 calls, like if there's a count 15, or does it give you what your current limit is? Like, is there a way to tell you how far you are in that concurrency limit?
That is a great question. Well, current concurrency limit.
Current concurrency.
Yeah, but that's a limit, right?
That's purchase, though. That's
a limit. Because if you had that kind of API call, you could do an edit and loop and just say, check the concurrency. If it's 15, then just do a wait and then do another call and then tell when frees up and then actually do the call.
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
I haven't actually used this API endpoint, and now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, because that just looks like, oh, no, it says get current concurrency and concurrency limit.
Yeah, it says get current. I'm not sure this is a amount of ongoing calls of the org. The current. Oh yeah.
Okay, so that is it. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got lost there too. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like it.
So you could just build that into your logic in your workflows then.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, we can create a response if it is more than the limit of concurrent calls.
You'd probably want to loop it, like Tony's talking about, inside of N8N. So you're going in there and then you're checking before you pick up that call or pass it on. You're just looping it in.
Yeah, because what Alex is saying, it'll error out, so that's not a great thing just to send it.
So you could probably, I mean, if you get that many calls, you could probably build in some kind of redundancy. You know that it's showing you that these calls are erroring out, and then you either pick up more calls or get a loop.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that can be done. I have to play with this. I guess.
Oh, so that's inbound. That's inbound and outbound concurrency then.
Yeah.
So if somebody, I was thinking outbound, but if someone's calling in and you're at 20 and they call, it just won't pick up the call.
I wonder what would happen in that situation if someone does call 20. I don't know what error you would get, and I don't know what they would hear, what they would listen to. There's only 7 of you here. I would love to try it. Maybe we can try it next time when there's like more of us, because I'm curious myself too.
Yeah.
I generally don't know what the person's gonna hear. I don't know if it's just gonna be like a dead tone and like nothing. I can certainly ask engineering to see what happens, but I would also like to try it.
And I'm guessing that concurrency limit is a set limit. There's no variability. Like if I go over, then I can get charged on the fly if it goes over the concurrency.
Yeah. Like that would be cool, but then I can see that also being problematic. Like if a bunch of people all of a sudden they start spamming you, now you're getting 100 calls and like
1,000.
I'm just thinking as well, because right now, like I said, that service there, I'm working with a company, they do 27,000 part-time hires a year. So it does multiple concurrent calls, and I'm just wondering what would happen if it hit that limit versus it's fine if you stay in a loop, but if it's at 20 and, at peak season and you don't even know what's going to happen for some reason, they get 400 at a call, then it just would stop working.
You can't programmatically pick them up, can you? Like the calls, like how do you order those calls there?
Yeah, can you buy concurrency through the API?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, if you can buy them, then you can just flip them on and off as you need.
And yeah, sorry, but and then sorry, with a concurrency limit, is that right now a static monthly? So if I increase it, then that all my future bills are at that new concurrency limit?
Yeah. You can remove them. And
but it seems like it's a manual process then.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I don't know if we do have an API point like that. We just haven't posted on here to increase them through an API. I can certainly ask that too. I don't see it. We only have obviously the get concurrency.
But it's $8 an extra call per month.
Yeah.
So it's concurrent calls per account then?
Yes.
So
per works, it's concurrent. It's per workspace. Yeah.
It is
because, like, for example, in this workspace, I have 20 concurrent calls. If I go to this other one, I think I have like 40.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar with the pricing model yet. Again, I'm just kind of new here. What is the pricing model for a new workspace on kind of the basic?
It's free. It's free. You just pay per usage. So it's just a usage model. So
with that, then I guess I'm just curious. You guys are doing $8 per extra concurrent call, where really then you could say you could build in some. Actually, let me think about this. Can you pass? You know how you did that NAN flow for different agents? Can you pass it to an agent outside your workspace?
You could.
So, isn't that kind of a workaround?
You can. It is. Absolutely, yeah.
So would you guys consider different concurrency pricing model then? Because really, you could have unlimited workspaces.
I think there's a limit on like how many workspaces you can make though. So you can make probably like 10 workspaces. So technically, you have 200 concurrent calls. You could if you want to. You sure? There's nothing stopping you.
And so does that then trigger a conversation if you guys would look at a different pricing model for your concurrency model?
I get what you're saying. I can certainly pass on. I would think so, but yeah, I'm not.
Because $8 seems pretty steep, especially if it's
Yeah, but you got a hack around. Just pop up an extra. Now you got 20 of them.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think from a longevity point of view. From a like obviously retail needs to make their money too, and if you're making that many calls, hopefully you're making good money. But just that cost value from a return from an extra single concurrent slot is $8 a month. That gets pretty expensive.
Yeah, but that is for outbound calls, right? For inbound calls, we cannot even for one number we can connect it to one agent for either incoming or outgoing. Correct. So if we create a new workspace and even if we copy paste the workflow there, it's going.
Because you could build an NNN workflow where you do a random generating random number, and if you have 20 or 10 workspaces, right, all copied the same agent over to each of them, then you could basically like Alex said, have 200 concurrencies, and your NNN is just doing it to a random.
Yeah. But you got to maintain all.
Now you have to maintain, and that's why I was saying if there's a better way so that it's $8 just seems very expensive for
incoming as well. Can you do that? Incoming calls as well.
It's all just what's in use.
Can you please help me understand that part alone?
Right here. It's right here. So you see, we have an inbound call.
Yeah.
We have a phone number, and we need to respond to retail. Retail is waiting for us to give it something, right? And what retail wants from us, they're looking for this information, a from number, to number. Well, they're looking for this agent override ID,
right?
And the metadata and this. So that means that we can put any agent ID in here,
right?
So what we do here is, again, in this example, we just checked, and then we're returning 2 different agents. So here, if we found them in our system, we're going to return this agent with this information.
Mm-hmm.
And if we didn't find them in our system, then we will return this one. So to your example, to the concurrency in calls, right? Let's say you would have to build some sort of workflow where we check the concurrency. Let's say that it's 20 and you get another call, then you want to send them to a different agent in another workspace, right? Like that would be a little more complicated, but it's the same concept. You're still using this inbound webhook.
Right. Okay. And we can use the same number as well.
Yeah, you can use the same number.
Okay.
Like I could put like one of you guys as agents on here.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Wait, you can assign a number across multiple agents across multiple workspaces?
Well, let's try it. Someone pop in and give me an agent ID from one of your agents who has just a dummy one.
Give me 1 second. Let me retell.
It should.
Let's find out. So here's a demo one. Okay. Agent ID. Copied. There you go.
All right. Let's see. So now we should be calling. It shouldn't be the girl that I was calling earlier. She shouldn't answer. It should be someone else. So let's find out.
Tell her you're selling some Google services.
Well, first of all, it just user busy. So is it even?
Is it right?
It just said it was busy. So that's interesting.
Ooh.
So maybe it doesn't allow cross workspace calls.
Yeah, maybe it don't.
Yeah, it should be working. Let me see. Give me a sec.
Let's see. I have another workspace, so let's try it out.
You're the same user, so maybe. Oh yeah, that's actually the use case anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the use
Yeah.
case. So we can see that.
Hi, Ivan. How's it going? How can I help you today?
Okay, so that works. I mean, she's working, so that must not. Okay.
So maybe, I mean, again, the use case is like same user.
And same account.
Same account, different workspaces. Yeah.
This is, I got a feeling this is going to work.
Let's see.
At least it works now.
It didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, there's your $8.
There's your $8.
There it is. It didn't work.
What's the difference in that business plan, right? Because you get like 100 concurrent for something, right? There's that's built into it.
What
How much is that?
I don't know. Well, that's what they got. Like, if you get the business plan on there, you get X amount, then your minutes, like from 12 cents, it goes down to about 7 cents.
Oh, really?
Enterprise plan?
Yeah, the enterprise plan. That's probably what you're going to be looking at. And so I'm guessing you get like 100 numbers, I think, right off the bat. Take a peek at it. I forgot what the.
So which one?
The enterprise plan. There you go. Yep. In this thing. So you get
discounts more that you on usage base.
Yep.
Oh, no way.
But I think he was telling me, who was it? Bing, right? Or yeah, I like his Bing, right? Alex, is that who?
Yeah.
Yep, so you get some numbers too when I was talking to him. Like you get like it's not just 20 concurrents, like 100 or something.
Can you send me this, Alex? Because this is, or is this online somewhere?
I'll send it to you. There you are.
All this stuff you're learning about, Tony. I'll send you a bit later, huh?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I've been using this other tool and they've only been around for 2 years, 2023, but there's a lot more features and functionality.
I don't want to say we're the best, but we're the best.
Do you guys have ability for dashboarding for minutes used and such on an agent basis?
You could probably build it. I was thinking about this one too, is because you're getting the minutes coming in.
So let's say I have client A, B, and C. Client A, I've set up so that it can do a certain amount. Is there a way to find out which client B? So it is by agent, and is that API accessible?
Yeah. And I'll do a tutorial on how you guys can make your own custom dashboard if you want to.
Oh yeah,
but all this dashboard information is accessible by the API. So I could do a check their usage. If it's over this usage, then send it to a different. Hey, you're over your usage kind of thing.
All this right here, right? Everything that you see here is the same information that we have right here.
Yeah.
If I go back to our call analysis right here, oh, that's not a call analysis. This right here, it's all here.
Sorry, my brain's going here. Do you guys have a white label for the dashboards?
There is no white label for the dashboards. You would have to make your own. We don't have one like that. You can just. There's a couple. I think there's other like third parties that made one. I don't know one specifically off the top of my head.
I checked into them. They aren't very good. Yeah, I mean they're.
But Ivan, you're probably saying as after every post call, you're basically putting those minutes, updating a quick table.
Yeah, because look, they're running through, and then you're just adding them up, or you're running. I mean, you could do it based on.
You can do something like Pocket Base. I love Pocket Base.
What is Pocket Base? Okay, that's new.
Dude, it's a fucking greatest thing ever.
Really? Okay, I'll check this out. What is this?
Pocket Base. It's this cool little database that you can pop in your own little server. It's like using like light SQL. It's super good, and like you can use this for that. You can like create your different contacts, and then you can just send those calls.
Is it self-host?
Yeah, self-host it.
Yeah, I'm using NoCodeDB. It's a similar kind of concept.
Okay,
yeah, NoCode. There you go. So NoCodeDB.
It's like a free Airtable, basically.
Yeah, dude, NoCode is cool too. I like it. And you can also self-host this one as well. So
yeah, I'm using NoCode quite a bit.
Yeah, so I've used NoCode too as well there.
But you like that other one better, the Pocket?
Well, NoCode is like Pocket Base. I used to like I said like database. Like I mean, NoCode is also a database, but
I wanted something simple. You know what I was wanting is for these clients, right? So they can just log in and listen to the call, right? So you'd have the recording and so something real simple. So like we're
yeah. So like I said, we'll be creating a tutorial on that, on how to make that. And so far we can do that with Airtable. We can get certainly some of those stats with Airtable. We can also explore some things like Buddy Base. I forget what it's called. Buddy Base could also do it. Something like this.
Your Pocket Base, or what was that?
Alex, what's your role in the company?
Implementations.
And you are new, Alex. When did you just talking to you a little bit ago, and now you're at retail.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about Thoughtly, let me know. I'm one of their more like power users there.
Okay, I've seen it. I haven't played with it recently. I thought it was cool. But
when I saw the retail interface, I was like, "What? This looks similar to Thoughtly, except for you guys are horizontal versus vertical building."
And
but you guys have way more options.
There you go. Chat Dash. So thank you for recommending. I forget who. Let me see. Someone recommended this.
What is it?
White label. Someone's asking about white label dashboard.
Yeah.
Chat Dash is one of those. Like I said, there's third-party providers that offer this. Chat Dash is one of those. I believe they do like more than just the. And I'm not sure if Eduard. I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry, dude. Eduard. I'm not sure if Edward. Okay, that sounded that much better. Edward. I'm not sure if Edward wants to hop on and like describe. I've never used it personally, but I've heard good things about it, and I know it's
from a reporting point of view kind of thing.
Yeah. So
dashboard.
It seems like it does a lot of things too. Like it does other stuff. It seems like you can do connections to other systems. So yeah, check that, guys. Check it out. But like I said, I will be showing you a video how to do it without that, but something like very simple, like Airtable, or maybe like something we can use something. Even AI table, that's another one.
You know who does a good job of this is like Rosie AI, I think it's called. They just make it's Hey Rosie is what it's called.
That's right.
It's have you seen this or not? The back of this is real simple because all of a sudden for just like service leads, right? So like they don't want to log into no other place. So it just sends them a little summary of what it is. They can click on it, logs in, and then it's got just their for like smaller service businesses. If you log in, I think it's free to log in real quick on the back end is kind of nice. It just simplifies everything. Just kind of
this is like a platform where they can listen to the calls.
Yeah. But what it does is the beautiful thing is it'll plus it makes it real simple. So they pop in their hours, boom, 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 and those are like custom fields that running through.
Yeah.
And then
I personally have a data governance thing where I don't actually store any customer data anymore, so I don't want to play with that.
Yeah. Oh, this is just this wouldn't work for a lot of people, but for like smaller service businesses, right?
It's a great idea though to look at it like as a dashboard that
we
built internally, right? Yeah.
And all you're
It's
doing
like
is you're putting the recording in there. So then what happens is they get a text message with the link to where the recording is. They click on it and it just opens up.
Yeah. So I definitely do. This is another one. Like I said, we want to do a workshop like that, because we can probably even use honestly like Bolt or like Lovable to like
for sure.
put something cool. You know, like we can use Bolt with like chat. What is it called? CN. Right, like look at this. Bam! I have a bunch of components here, so it's like you can just use these components. You know.
Chat
So,
CN.
yeah, look at this. Like they have a bunch of cool stuff. So yeah,
that's cool.
I feel like
Alex, I am always impressed with your resources and all these little things. I just gotta be honest.
There's so many tools now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah.
Crazy. So you guys aren't having issues with mid action calls. Like that's my biggest issue right now with Thoughtly is that it doesn't consistently do mid call actions.
Oh, you mean like where it fires the?
Like so in Thoughtly, one use case that works very well is access this webhook and tell me what's coming back, but it has a hard time of appointment booking. So give me the appointment slots, and then once you have that slot, book it into this or send a new webhook into a new hook. I mean, because like I use a different. I mean I have cal.com, but I'm doing those generally through webhooks.
GHL works pretty well. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I haven't had. We haven't. I don't know
I was
if
just saying
anyone
you haven't heard that that's an issue that people can't successfully.
No, I mean
get
I've heard that people have issues with like functions and that tool calls, but also like when you go in and you look at it, sometimes they're not calling it properly or they're missing stuff. So sometimes it's user error.
Yeah.
But when you like for example, I have several workflows for go high level for booking appointments. They work. I haven't had any personal issues. Like the API works.
Well, the reason I thought your guys might work better is because even like, for example, in VAPI, you set the tool name and then the instruction you said, whenever you need times, you always use the tool get availability. And when you're booking, always use the tool book slot. You guys do that, right? You give tools names.
Same thing. Yep.
Yeah. And you reference them too. So I know right now we were working on
Alex actually has a video here. I watched that. That's the first one I watched there, Alex, is you created a booking with GHL where she's pulling in.
I actually got to do one for outbound. That's my next one. But like, for example, here in the functions, custom function, right? You give it your tool name, you give it your description. So we can have check cal. Whatever's right to check the calendar, whatever's. You give it your description and then you just give it that information like earlier as we went through the patient name, email. And then you just call it.
Do you have
do it in Bappy, right?
authorization headers on that at all? I don't know if I saw
I think that's what someone else was asking for the authorization headers. No, you would have to pass that information over at the inbound.
The query?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said what? Pass it in when?
You would have to pass that through the metadata. Here.
Oh,
it's the first one.
You need to pass it through this metadata here.
Use in the outbound webhook. Yeah.
This is the inbound webhook, but this can be used at any time. Anytime that you call a function or anything, this is always going to be in that object.
But I thought you said the metadata can't be used within the workflow. So how would you pass that metadata API key or whatever it's going to be, security authentication in that function?
Because it's always there.
It's like a note card that you got.
Yeah, but sorry. So when you call a webhook, you can do header authentication, right? How would you pass that into the header authentication?
So all right, let's see here.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's when you're doing a post or whatever. Like
Yeah, I'll show you. So let me think about what we have here. Let's see. So returning. I'm gonna go with the returning one here. We're just gonna schedule an appointment. I'm gonna check for you, and then we need to book that appointment. I'm gonna get rid of this function here. And we're just gonna create a new function. And add. Okay. And I'm going to create just a simple webhook here that we're going to be using. I'll do my post call, and this is going to be a post. Got it. And then I'm going to paste this in here. Okay, that's not the right string.
No, honestly, that's not great.
Yeah. What happened here? I'm going to paste that in there. I'm not going to add anything, right? So theoretically, I should be collecting some information from this person, but I'm not going to add anything. So I'll save this, and then we'll add it. And then we're going to go here. And what did I have in the other one? I forgot what my transition was. Let me just check really quick.
But again, you could set it as a global node and just saying when people want to actually confirm their booking or whatever.
Yeah, you could use that as a global node. I mean, you would have to the function itself couldn't be the global node because you're going to want to collect information beforehand. But yeah, I mean, you could. So, okay, where are we at? Right here.
I think I'm excited for global nodes. So
we'll just pass this over, right? So we're going to call this function. And again, I'm not passing anything, literally not sending any information. And I want to book the appointment, right? So let's test this. Now this is going to be calling Airtable. So I'm just going to add myself really quick on here, just so that it has my info, because otherwise it's not going to find me and it's going to send me to the other.
All right, yeah.
To the other agent. All right. Whatever.
This is going to have, in your case, does it have to have everything or just Alex in there?
It's just Alex. Just have Alex. So let's, okay. So let me call this.
Thank you for calling Retail Dental. Mia speaking. How may I help you?
Hey, Mia, I want to make an appointment. I have my tooth is really hurting, so I want to make an appointment for.
Claro, Alex, ¿en qué puedo ayudarte hoy? ¿Estás buscando programar una cita o tienes alguna pregunta sobre nuestros servicios?
Quiero hacer una cita para el siguiente lunes a las 11 de la mañana para un cleaning.
You mind just opening up that note just so I can see what's in there?
I'll check that for you. Tenemos disponible el lunes 14 de abril a las 11 de la mañana. ¿Te gustaría ese horario?
Sí, está bien.
Listo, he reservado tu cita para el lunes a las 11 de la mañana. ¿Hay algo más en lo que te...
Okay, that function call happened, right? Here's the trigger. So this function it happened, right?
And sorry, go back into your node that was on that new one you just created, and you just attached a function to that node.
Say that one more time.
It's on that big book appointment V2. You just attached a function to this node somehow.
This is the function.
Oh, it's a function node. It's a specific function node.
You see, function.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just grabbed it from. Well, let me see, because I'm seeing and all weird.
Side, yeah.
I was just trying to see how you added it in there. Okay.
Yeah, right here, just function. You can click on this, and then this function is going to give you all the ones that you've already made, and then you can just add more.
And then it just pops it on as soon as you add.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to pop it in as soon as you add it. It'll pop it in here, and then you just click on it, and then add it.
Okay.
And you can see again, there's nothing in here.
Yeah. My question is more around how would you pass a header authentication to that web call, that webhook?
Well, that's what I'm trying to show you.
Oh.
So at least hopefully I'm understanding. You see, it's already here. I can just pass it in. I can pass it in at the start of the call, so it's always accessible to me. So in this example, let's say that I needed to authenticate in some sort of API. I need to authenticate in the calendar API, right? Let's just pretend that, right? To book that appointment, that information I can just pass it here.
Yeah. No, I was just yeah, I get that, and that's great. My question was more about that specific webhook entry, the security on that webhook, right? So like in the webhook on the left, there's authentication.
Sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah.
So just so you can secure your webhook nodes. Obviously, N8N has these funky cache ones, but it's still not as secure as having a header authentication.
No, the only authentication that you would have to do is verify that they're coming from retail through the signature.
And is that signature an SHA 256 hash, or what is that?
I believe so, but I'll admit I'm not a whole security expert there, so I don't know on that. But in terms of the authentication, you could do it through here if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's a hat. That's a SHA 256. Okay, so is there a chance that I could just ask for a feature add then in those function nodes to be able to pass headers?
I can ask, and you can certainly request it. You can request it, and I'm sure it will come eventually. But as I mentioned, just be frank, the main priorities right now are the latency, the knowledge base, languages, and then the texting features. So I'm sure that will be added eventually, but just be frank, I don't know if that's going to be a huge priority at this particular time.
Okay. Okay. Are you guys, what do you call it, GDPR compliant for UK customers?
Yeah, we're all HIPAA compliant, so whatever it's the other ones, yeah, should be.
For the UK, like you guys have servers in the UK and data stays in the UK?
Oh, let's see. Well, let's find out about that. On the compliance, yeah, right here.
Yeah, no, it's for the UK. It's called GDPR. Oh, right there is retail GDPR compliant. I see. Okay.
Yeah,
so there's we actually don't have any service in the European Union. They're all US.
Okay. Yeah, same with Thalia. I can't get around that right now.
So does that mean you can't use them over there, or what? Or you just gonna?
So a client can choose to bypass that kind of stuff, but it's not like they can get in trouble effectively. Right. So like I was going to deploy an instance in the UK, but I couldn't guarantee that the servers were coming from a specific endpoint.
Oh.
So I'm not focusing on UK customers.
Yeah, makes sense. More trouble than they're worth.
That's cool. And sorry, Alex, you're saying this is Wednesday, every Wednesday and Thursday?
Every Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Different time zone, right? Tomorrow you got a little different time or not?
No, it's the same time. Tomorrow I'll be here at 1. So tomorrow, let's see. Today we went over inbound webhook.
At 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. What time zone?
Pacific Standard Time.
Okay. So
what do you guys want to go over next? Anything in particular?
Yeah. There was a template that you shared. You mentioned that you will be sharing for debt collection. If you have that a cleaned up version on multi-prompt that you had one?
Oh, yes, I do have the multi-prompt agent. I have to remove the actual client information, to be honest. Because it is an actual client, so I can share it, but I have to remove it first. I have to clean it up first.
Yeah, if you can share that, it'll be great. And how would you be sharing that if once after cleanup? Would that be in the notes, Notion notes of?
It's by that time I should have the school up, so it will most likely be in the school, or in Notion, but it's most likely going to be in school. To be honest, I would just export it.
We can copy and paste templates like workflows.
Yeah. So like I can import any workflow. Just click import.
Oh, that's cool. Right on. And that's just like a JSON format or something.
Yep, I have this retail dentist, and I just import it, and I'll go ahead and import. And
that's useful.
Yeah, there it is.
Can we export them as well as people?
Yeah, right here.
Right on. No way.
And you can add folders if you want to. Yeah, you just export them through here.
Oh.
So
Very cool.
Michael, all I would do is I would just export it, have the JSON, and you guys could just import it into your own account somewhere.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, we can build a solution collection for retail, a kind of a marketplace or something.
Yeah.
How long has the retail been around for?
Let's see, 14 months now, 15 months now.
That's it. You guys are still new too. Holy shit.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
You guys, like, so again, I love those guys over there, but you guys are way further ahead than they are.
Then who? Who's
Thoughtly?
Oh, Thoughtly.
Well,
way further ahead.
I don't want to tune our own horn, but we have some pretty good engineers. So, yeah,
and a pretty good product actually compared to the other ones.
I'll be honest. I'm in Thought because I got a AppSumo deal, so I've got a ton of free credits. So
use them, huh?
Well, it's yeah. I get like 30 hours a month for free. So
not bad, not bad.
That's cool. But yeah.
How is it compared to WAPI and Assistable? There is a product called Assistable.ai.
Oh man, you hit me.
Yeah, it's Assistable.
Let's see. I'll tell you right now. Assistable is retail.
Yeah.
Assistable is built on top of retail.
Oh, interesting.
So,
what are they using for chat?
So Assistable is built on top of retail.
It's a white label version of retail.
Interesting. No way.
What
Okay. If that is there, and why is the cost so being low there and so high here?
Because Assistable is on enterprise plans, right? So, like for example, I shared with you the enterprise plan. If you take a look at that, the cost it's less, right? Jordan is on an enterprise, so he's paying much less.
Oh wow!
Which he's passing on that cost to you, right? So, so yeah, that's why. But it's just retail. You can look at it, like you can log into it and you can see that it's the exact same settings. It's
exactly.
You can see the webhook too. Like actually, Alex, you should do this right in GHL. When you're looking at it, it's got retail as the thing coming through.
Yeah, when I built, let's take an example. When I create an agent, we'll have to give a prompt, and on top of that prompt, it generates its own prompt. That features are not there here in retail.
No. So yeah, exactly. Jordan still built his own tools on top of it, for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, but the underneath it, it's retail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and then in terms of your
just
question,
he's got something else for chat, right? I mean, that's something else.
Yeah, he has something else for chat. Like I'm saying, he still built components on top of it, like that thing, the chat, the orb, right? You can have an orb, a little orb thingy. So he's built on top of it, but the phone functionality, it's retail underneath. In comparison to BAPI, lots of differences, right? I would argue
lots.
BAPI is very developer centric, right? So we take a look at BAPI, they're very BAPI blogs. BAPI is really more for developers. They push that a lot. They have a lot of different models, but that doesn't always necessarily a great thing.
You got more control in a tool like this, right?
Yeah, we have conversational flow builder, which I have a BAPI account, so we can log in and see.
BAPI works for a very simple.
So they have stats, cool. They have this thing called workflows, which is in beta.
I haven't seen this yet.
I don't even know how
it's been around.
The thing that I have heard that if you jump into this platform versus jumping into retail, it seems more straightforward. Look, I have my agents. Okay, I can see, and maybe just because maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm just being biased because I use a platform. But it seems more easy to get started with.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's also I'm all for settings. I love having options, but I think it's overwhelming for certain people. If here's my agent, right? I have a lot of providers. You're gonna get that. What's it called when you have too many options? Paralysis or whatever it's called. You can spend all sorts of time here. Just because they have these models, not every model supports tool calls. So technically, you could pick a model that doesn't even support tool calls. So it's great. Again, they have tons of options. I love all the options.
Is their workflow meant to be similar as the builders that you guys have? Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, I believe so.
Did they? I think they had theirs first, right? Before.
No,
I've never seen workflows.
This workflow's new. The
I've never
workflow
seen workflows.
Okay,
so it is interesting.
I can say that I have tested it and it works awfully.
Awful?
Yes.
The difference, what I see is between we have done a detailed analysis of different tools. I didn't know that Assistable is running on top of retail. Maybe this sounds weird. Assistable has better clarity in receiving the transcript.
than retail is what one difference that I see. And if possible, if retail can give a custom LLM option and custom where we can plug in and put a monthly cost or something like $30 for usage as a user, that could be a game changer for enterprise customers. So if I want to implement this for a bank and they would say like, I want to use only our LLM models. So if that is done, this could open multiple million-dollar businesses so quick.
Wait, Alex, go to pricing there. I thought it says bring your own LLM there.
You could. Yeah, you already could. It's just I think I'm not sure, Michael. It's just you have to do your own custom thing. But right here, custom LLM.
You
can do your own.
Yeah. Let's take. How can I build a conversation flow on a custom LLM using a custom LLM?
Well, I believe you would still build it just as you regularly would, but you need a server to handle all these things.
If you're using custom LLM, then generally you're going to have a lot more latency too, right? Like
Well, that depends. Technically, it depends on your server, right? The location of your server, where those MPI calls. So
can we go? Let's take an example. I have an open API key from Enterprise Open AI, and I want to use that that API key and then build a conversation flow.
Are you talking about a custom LLM, or are you talking about just your API keys?
Just the API keys for now.
Well, then this would be. I think you just pop in your key on. Like, look, if you go up on top, go up a little higher.
Well, if you want to integrate your own API keys, you will still have to use a custom LLM because unless I'm missing it, there is no option here for you to just enter your API key. I get what you're saying. Like Jordan with Assistable, you can enter your own API key, but Jordan is using a custom LLM, so it's different, right? Which you can do the same thing as well, which you would have to do through a custom LLM, right? So that's what this is right here, right? Here we're using Azure OpenAI, and you're importing your stuff, your credentials. So you could use your own, but again, it's different setup.
And if I use this custom LLM, will the cost go down then? Because it has to.
Yeah, the cost will go down because you're not relying on our resources, right?
You're using the API, then
you're using your own stuff, so the cost is going to go down.
Does the minutes go down too, or not for the phone? If you bring in, like say a Leo number.
If you go with your own LLM, and even you go with your own custom 11, right?
So this is 7 cents a minute, then
Let's just go with like 20,000. We can see whatever's that, right? 14,000 with your own LLM. If you use ChatGPT, right? That's going to increase the cost. If you use retail Twilio versus your own, you can see.
So we can bring our LLM Open API key and use that in custom LLM and then start building. If you can do a workshop on that, that will be great.
Oof, that one is going to be a little. I will do my best to do on that one. That one's going to be pretty technical for sure.
Hey, sorry, newbie question here. So if you go with the 4.0 mini, the retail, is the call quality not great? Like, how come you guys use non-4.0 mini? Because the 4.0 mini costs are so much cheaper, right?
Yeah, you could.
Does it not work well, or like, what's the reason you personally don't use it?
Yeah, there's a big difference between 4 and 4.0, or the mini and the
price-wise. But what about quality-wise, or like? I guess I'm asking, what do you guys use and why?
I use 4.0 just because so some of the stuff she's got to go in, like she pulls in, like say storage units, right? She's got to grab those units and she's got to think about which one's next. Like because
4.0 mini didn't do it for you.
It doesn't do a good job. Not as good of a job. Yeah, it'll
as simple as that. Interesting.
Yep. Well, it's not simple because it's got to go through. It's got to grab all these units, right? Pull it out. So you're feeding it all this data, and then they're choosing the size that they're running through, and it's got to choose all that stuff that it's running. It's got a lot of stuff that it actually has to do.
Well, I've got some stuff for real estate that I'm using 4.0 mini, and it's been pretty good from multiple data points.
Have you tried one versus the other to see what the?
I haven't, because I haven't had issues with 4.0 mini. That's why.
Yeah, maybe further tests. Like I said, I've used both of them. Like what you're saying, like we were using 4.0 mini for an agent to interview people. That was interviewing, and it worked fine because like it was pretty straightforward. But for more complex cases, we use 4.0.
Yeah.
Is there any plan to do? I know I heard you in terms of your priorities, but is there any plan to allow us to do our own API keys?
I believe so. Yes.
Cool.
Hey, are you able to use I think you are, right? A separate LLM or like a set per node, right?
Yeah, you can use a separate
Oh,
node.
I think I saw that too. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what so I mean, for some simple stuff, you can probably use 4.0, right? Or the mini.
Yeah, and
for
that's kind of the great thing about this, right? Like the
that's cool.
conversational builder, that you have that fine control. So it's like, maybe this is a very simple thing. Maybe I can just get
That's
away with
cool.
using for meaning.
Like
right?
N, you can do it for, you can set your, like, I actually really love that here.
Yeah. So,
I didn't.
yeah.
I missed this. Oh, this is cool.
So on average, you guys are using it. Are you guys on average, your combination at that 12 cents is kind of where you guys?
Sometimes a little more. So you look, depending on what you're popping in there. So like if you crank, but I think it's roughly usually about 12 cents. I mean,
Okay. Because
if
right
you use
now,
different stuff, it'll crank up or down.
because that's going to affect your pricing model. Right now, my current, the provider that I was using, that Thoughtly, I'm averaging, or it's not average, it's 9 cents a minute, period. So then if you go to 12, obviously that's a 30% increase. You got to adjust your pricing models.
Yeah.
But on average, 12 is kind of, maybe it's a question for you, Alex. Do you see that's kind of the average usage is what people choose from a selection point of view?
Yep, pretty much. Yep.
And then build per the closest second, or most round up. I'm guessing to the second.
Wait, that mini is what about the regular 4.0? Could it? Because why is that 12 cents right now? Oh, I think it's got to be the general one.
Yeah, like right now, like if I create a single prompt, I'll change, but because I'm using the multi-prompt, and technically you can have a bunch of different ones, right? But this one's better. We do for mini.
Yeah,
you can see. I mean, it drops down pretty significant.
Because if you're using mini, this is probably cheaper here. Instead of 9, it'll probably go down to 7 or 7.6. So you'll probably be saving money.
Yeah, but then again, like you said, if there was some complex things, you could actually just a single node on 4.0.
Well, this one right here is a little different. I mean, this is like one prompt.
Oh, what is this? This is just one. Oh, this is it. There's no builder.
It's one prompt, yeah. So then your webhooks and everything else is all on the side.
Oh, interesting. So this is more like a VAPI kind of thing.
It's exactly like, well, this is more like an assistable kind of thing.
Yeah, this is the assistable. You can do this one, and you also have multi-prompt.
Yeah, is the multi-prompt the builder? I guess I'm confused what the differences are.
No, it's a builder.
Multi-prompt is this one. You have different branches.
What was the other one you were in where you just saw the workflows?
Conversational flow builder.
That one, I think I like that one the best because it's easier to.
So what's the use case here?
I don't think they had the conversational flow is kind of what happened, right? Is the conversational flow came in last or what?
Yeah, the conversational flow is the latest one. Before it was this one, the multi-prompt builder. What's the difference is they both work. They're both the same. I mean, they both. I think the conversational flow builder provides you with finer control, such as selecting the custom LLM for the particular node, whereas this one you can't. Right? I use the multi-prompt builder for certain things. Like if I was going to book an appointment for a returning patient, I would probably use the multi-prompt builder, just instead of the conversational flow builder. Just me.
You would, huh? Why would you use it? This one I find that it hallucinates. I mean, it's harder. You got to make the prompt so long versus if you got the flow builder, it's just one simple.
Really?
And then moving through.
I don't know. I mean, it's worked fine for me.
Yeah.
I'll show you how I prompt it.
And Ivan and Michael, are you guys doing mostly inbound or are you doing outbound?
Inbound.
Whole lot of outbound.
You are
my stuff's outbound as well, mostly.
Hundreds of thousands of calls of outbound. Like
you're doing that, Alex? You're just all outbound, huh? What are you doing right now? Like for
call centers, a lot of call centers.
Ah, shoot.
You guys have a status page for outage?
I believe we do. I don't know where it's at. I'll have to look it up right now. But you see this right here? I put all my main prompt. This is a conversational flow builder, and then in this, I have very little prompts, just more of context, some tasks.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So it's not as it won't hallucinate as bad because now you're giving it a little bit of flow. Okay, this makes sense here. Yeah.
Sorry, can you click on it? How do you tell it to go to which one?
On the edge. That's my experience, for example. The multi-prompt is much easier to actually see the edges and how it's being transferring from one node to the other. The multi-prompt, it is great, but it can become very complex. I don't know, Alex, you want to show you the other one that you showed us the other last week? That was crazy. but it's just easier to manage. I believe
Yeah.
the conversation flow.
You can get very complex with it. That one's like a simple one. Again, I would probably keep them around there, but you could get way more complex. Like this one.
Yeah. What do you know? What is going what there?
Wow. Wouldn't this be easier in the conversation flow?
I was gonna say, like, holy cow.
Well,
This is like it's hard to look. I mean, you got to like have a mind map of your own, like to understand what's going on.
Yeah. So for this case, you go to the conversational flow, which you can see what our each edger is doing, so it's much easier to manage. That's how I choose conversation flow instead of multi-prompt for bigger projects like this.
Yeah. So this
Is there,
one
is there a latency difference between these things too, Alex? That's a good point. That's a good question.
Okay.
It depends on how much you put in it. I noticed that with the multi-prompt, if you put a lot of like stuff within the individual little notes in here,
then it gets to be a little crazy.
It gets a little laggy.
Do you guys have? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was saying, do you have logic flows in your debugging, like on the conversational, like basically, yeah, because like in the output in the webhook, you saw those different nodes and how it went into it. Do you guys have debugging logic stuff in
So
here?
the conversational flow. Let me go back to my other one because I can't be sharing too much stuff here.
That's one of the issues I have now is that it goes to a specific node that I'm like, no clue why it went there.
If you go to call history, then you can see the debugging of what went through.
But it'll actually tell you the logic?
Well, no, that's what I was going to show you because you want to see the logic. And again, that's kind of the differences between the conversational flow builder there. So I'm just going to go with this one. You can see the logic if you do a test. You just test it. So we can test this LM. We can simulate a conversation. June 12th, your order number.
Oh, this is a user prompt to basically train an AI chatbot to talk to the actual thing? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, and then you can test it, and then you can go through the test.
What?
Yeah. So you can go through the test. Your primary point is to book an appointment.
No way. So instead of a chatbot where you're just typing responses, you guys actually automate this through a...
Yeah, you're a new patient.
See that test audio? Then you just talk to it and
walk.
Yeah, sometimes it's annoying doing voice stuff all the time, though.
So you can do this. This will it's going to show you, and it's going to show you like the node transitions.
Oh, no way. That's cool.
Kind of what you wanted. So I'll show you the different node transitions there. And then to Ivan's point, if you do talk through the test audio, it's going to show you the different flows. So sorry, my cat is like...
So hang on here where it says... test.
So the test audio does take...
oh, that's cool.
Does charge you, by the way.
So here's what you can do. You can go on, if you go into conversations, right, you can see the same thing for actual conversations as they're running through, like for calls. Like if you go on the call, then you can check whether the tool fired or not too, because I was like sending some variables, they weren't coming in. Like what the heck? But if you go in the data, you can see all the stuff that's actually coming in too as well.
Can you train it based on conversations as well? Like it says A, but you're like, oh, it should have said C there?
You got to go.
You can find, I think you can add examples to this. Let me see, fine-tune examples right here.
No, sorry, I was going back to the thing you're talking about where you can look at the responses. Can you do a train on a response?
No.
Like on an actual call that's happened. So they say, hey, do you guys do this? And then the voice says, yeah, we do this. But then you notice it, you say, actually, we don't do that. So I'm going to update the response so that next time it answers it properly.
I don't believe it.
Are you asking about doing it itself or?
No. Just like, so even in chatbots, you can look at your history. And in some tools, you can actually click on one of the results and say, next time answer it this way.
Yeah, not yet. And to what Ivan was saying, right? Like, here's the call. You can always see the different node tools there, the different transactions or the different transitions.
Plus that data. See where that data is up on top? That's if you go up on the top.
When stuff goes wrong, it'll tell you. And
that's
then
freaking cool.
This part
is dynamic variables, right? So this is
what
that's really great.
Alex,
this is great.
So for the chatbot, can we? How can we integrate this? I know voice is there. If we want to build a chatbot for my website, and can we integrate that chatbot to our website?
A voice bot?
Yeah, not a voice bot. Is there a chat bot, or let's take an example tomorrow? If I need the same conversation flow in my WhatsApp or in a chat conversation, is it possible?
Not yet. We will have to see what the new update of the texting capabilities, but not yet.
Sorry, so many questions. You have an upcoming pay-as-you-go. You have your balance. Can you set per agent how much it can use per month?
No.
So in that case, you probably want a new workspace for the client. And in that workspace, can you set the dollar value for that workspace then?
I don't believe so.
Oh.
Or limits. Sorry, I was wrong. Nope. I was not wrong.
Oh, the other thing, be sure to set limits on the call, because all of a sudden you can have, boom, it's an hour long.
But it hangs up abruptly, like it doesn't do a cold, right? Or it doesn't do a warm hang up.
Yeah, it doesn't do a warm hang up.
That's potentially like if you're talking to a client, like that's a poor experience for them because it just hung up on them. But so Alex, and right now, what's the solution that if you have, let's just say, just 2 customers, and you don't want one customer to use all your minutes?
You can do an end call.
Well, you see, that's the thing. It's like for example, when we build it, it's always on the customer's account. We don't.
Oh, you create one for the customer.
I'm not. Exactly. We just get added to their account. They're responsible. It's your account, your billing, your everything. We just get added to their account.
Oh, so, yeah. So the difference there then is that, like, from an agency point of view, it's transparent what the costs are.
Yeah, because like again, the way we charge is like we're charging you a build up to build it for you, and then if you need us to like continue to provide you with support or whatever that may be, we can certainly do that. But that's an additional fee. But you pay for your own usage and your own cost.
So technically, if you wanted as an agency, you just create up a new retail account with a different email address for myself, and only add that one customer to that one specific account. Because across workspaces, you're saying there's no separation from billing.
Or build a dashboard. And you pull that data.
No, but even dashboard would, like, because let's say you fund your account with $1,000 or whatever it's going to be.
The easiest way is create an email alias and then create an
brand new account.
But end of the day, the billing will point out to the same email ID.
Yeah. I guess the only downside is that if, like I said, well, if I just put $1,000 into the account and all the different customers, I'm just kind of getting in there, but I don't want this one customer who's only paying me, $1,000 a month to use $5,000 worth of.
Yeah, that is where. You're creating an alias email and same email.
A brand new account.
Yeah, brand new account.
But the thing is, this is all pre-fund, right, Alex? It's pay as you go.
Yeah, but you get charged at the end of the month. Like right now, like I haven't been charged, right? So I got an upcoming invoice.
Oh, wait. So it's all post-usage billing.
Yeah, you see, like this is ongoing. Like I haven't been charged for this. This is ongoing. Am I going to be charged?
Oh, okay.
The end of the month.
We are creating, maybe how I just wanted to understand how people are working on this development test and environment. And is there anything like that you guys are using? Development, environment, test, environment, production. Like we create different workspace or different.
If we have like a different workspace for development versus production, is that what you're saying?
That is right.
Yeah, we do. We just separate them just for us. So like, for example, here I have agents, and these are like all development, if you will.
Okay.
But when we go in production, they're not going to be in this account.
It'll be in a different workspace, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So production workspace and development workspace. And how do you copy paste the latest changes to the production? You'll have to manually do it.
Yeah, you have to manually do it. But like, for example, when we work with the clients, we first test everything, make sure that it's good. We might even do a soft launch, and even that soft launch can still be in our own account. But when we go production, that's going to be all in theirs.
All right.
But by the time we go production, we should already have it should already be, the agent should be at a very good state, if you will.
So that means you got to do an A2P then like what do you call it?
You don't need to do A2P. What do you need A2P for? A2P is for texting.
Oh, sorry, texting. You guys don't have it yet, but you're going to have to do that, right? Because you guys are bringing in texting.
Yeah, I mean, that would have to be something, yeah. But for calls, there is no A2P.
Oh, I'm so confused. And I'm in my account, I have something that's like waiting for authorization or something. What was that? I'm trying to find my window here, but when I signed up originally, it was like I had to put something in. Something was under review.
So, Alex, if you can open an agent, we see build a voice and chat, right? So that chat part cannot be integrated to any other applications or.
It's just a test
what
bot.
chatbot?
I think he's thinking of other test bot.
Yeah. Oh, you're thinking of the test bot. No, that is not. That's just a test. That's just for us internal. This right here.
No. Yes. One second. Let me.
Yeah, this is just for testing.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Do you know what I'm talking about when I had to like apply for something on my retail to get it authorized or verified or something?
Maybe just like the phone number, just like they send you a text message. Is that what you mean?
No, it's under review. I'm trying to find it. I haven't spent much time in here, but it's under reviews, and it said it'd take a few days, but I haven't heard anything. I thought that was an A2P campaign authorization.
No,
you can bring your own like Twilio number. That's usually the easiest, and then you can have that. What's it called? It's your ATP in your Twilio account that you can use it in like here or GHL or wherever.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it here, but I don't find it. So there's nothing here that you guys are aware of that you have to go into some review?
I mean, you're supposed to verify like your phone number to like log in, and I don't know.
No, I've got access to the system. There was something else. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find it out. I haven't spent much time in here.
Alex, why not to take a node and rather than importing the entire workflow, is in future if we can export a particular node and then import it, or just the changes alone, last made version changes alone that can be imported to production. That will be useful.
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, technically, you would have to build some sort of custom code, but you could, right? Because you can export you could export the JSON from the current one and the new one, and then check them, and then which that would be cool.
I found it. And I probably didn't know what it was. I did it wrong. But what's the branded call? I thought that was for the.
Oh, that means you get like your phone number, but it's like $100.
Yeah.
No, that's verified phone number. There's two different ones.
Yeah. So if you go to phone number, you can get where's it?
Like verified phone number is $100 a month, which I don't even know what that gives you.
It's the same thing.
But branded call says 10 cents per outbound call.
There's a plus sign on the top next to the phone number where you can add it.
Where am I tripping? I mean,
is it next to the there? No.
You don't have it on yours.
It might be on that pencil. Try that pencil.
Where is it at? Like
mine's right on when you click the number on the under phone numbers in the middle.
Yeah.
You want me to share my screen?
Sure, you can share your screen. Oh, you know why? That's why. Because you're using I'm using Telenext. You're using Twilio.
Oh yeah.
So if I buy a number from Twilio, I don't care what number it is, then I'm going to see that option. But I'm using Telenext. So this is
branded call verify. What is that?
That it shows
what's the difference? It just was the name when you're calling.
Business name, yeah. So it'll be like
okay.
Tony K would be showing up on
I see. And sorry, Telenext. How do we buy a number from Telenext?
It's right here. Just buy number, Telenext. I like Telenext better.
Okay.
Personally, I feel.
And we can't pick the numbers, eh? Like I think when I bought my number, I was like, it bought it. I was like, oh shoot, I didn't realize I bought that number.
I like Telenext better because I've checked a lot of the Twilio numbers. They're full of spam. So let's check it out. Let's see. This is a Twilio number.
Mm-hmm. What is this IP quality score?
65 fraud score. So let's see.
No freaking way.
Good old 65. Let's see what we got here with the other number.
Are you able to build those numbers out?
Like so something else to keep in mind right there, right? I like to import my own numbers. I like Telenext, and I'm just going to show you. Both of these right now that were imported into them both showed up as 65. When I purchased them directly from Telenext, I'm going to show you.
And so can we do this as well when you're because you work for retail? Can we do the same thing you're doing right now?
Yeah, of course you can.
It's that SIP option. Did you see that SIP option up on the top? It's got an either by number or trunks, or what's that option up there? It's like bring your own number,
numbers. Oh, connect your number via zip trunking. Okay.
You got it.
So look, here are my numbers that I have. When I think got to do your own testing here. When I buy them directly from Talonix, and if I test this out, the spam score should be a lot better.
Have you tried if you buy them directly?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Have you tried?
And I can do the same thing. I can show you Twilio because I also bought it from Twilio, and I was.
What
like,
are you guys going to do when you do texting? Because if you're doing zip trunking, that's not going to do texting, obviously.
Yeah, we don't do
I use DHL for texting.
But in the future, when you bring texting in, are you guys going to have some sort of ability with a imported number versus your own numbers?
I believe so. I don't see why not. So, for example, here I got some numbers, right? Just a number that I bought here from Twilio. And then if I test this.
What snipping tool are you using that it actually grabs the text?
Shotter. You see, this one's 85.
Wow.
Broad score.
Oh, freaking.
And when I test the one, like I said, from Twilio, I forget which one I just tested. Let me see if I can test this one.
So the thing to do then, if you like Twilio, because I like Twilio, is you buy them here, and then you port them over.
Yeah.
But your the price doesn't go down. You guys still keep the same per minute price, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Well, you're going to import it, so technically, Talonix is a little bit cheaper than Twilio.
What about area codes? For example, if you want to buy numbers without zip trunking from Canadian numbers, the last time I checked, you can't only US number. Is that still the case?
I believe so. Yeah. I think you would have to probably import them, like buy them from like outside. Let me see if I can buy a Canadian number here.
No, but from retail itself, without the
right there is Canada.
Yeah, from retail itself. Do you have like an area code? I don't know the area codes in Canada. Do you have a specific area code?
Let's try 416.
416.
Yeah.
Steve, you're in Canada too?
Yep. Let's see. Yeah. So that's why you have to be like
Yeah. So not 416. Yeah, I think you have to get it off like your own here.
Yeah.
There's 418. I mean, even Talonix doesn't have 416, but they have all these. So
780 Alberta or Alberta. I don't know what 418 is. 431's Manitoba.
647, still Toronto, right?
431's Manitoba. Yeah. 647, 778's PC, I think.
What was that tool that you used, Alex, for to checking that IP?
IP, I am using
IP quality score. You can also use a free version of it. It gives you limited access to check if someone's calling you or texting
Got
you.
it. Okay, here I see it. Yep.
Yeah, I've tried a bunch. Twilio does it. Vonage does it. You have other ones that I tried. I personally found that this one is one of like the higher quality.
You're on a paid plan though right now, Alex, I'm guessing?
Yes, it's free. I haven't paid for anything.
Oh, really? IP quality store?
The login. Yep. You can do it on the front. If you go to the front of the page too, you can. I just tested my own number just to see too.
Oh.
Yeah, literally free. It's just free. So
cool. Thank you.
1,000 API usage is more than I will need for sure. It's gonna be a long time before I use this up.
Is it 1,000 total or?
Yeah, I think it's just like 1,000 total. Like you can use it, and then after that, you have to pay for a plan. But like you said, I've been using it for a minute, and I only done 28 so far, so it's not even that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check that out.
Very
cool. The
cool.
problem with buying a number outside of retail is like then you have double billing. You gotta export the billing from Twilio, for example, on your own dashboard, and billing on retail. So that's why I was wishing you to have that option to buy it directly from retail, so you can combine one billing. Just easier to manage.
Say that one more time. Double billing if you do what?
If you use
If you use trunking, you get double billing?
Yeah, because you got to pull the billing from your Twilio account outside of retail in order to charge you the minutes, and then retail will charge you for the LLM and 11 Labs. And then you got to match those two in order to get one call, in order to have the full amount of usage. Does that make sense? Did
but it's going to be roughly the same. It should come out to 12 cents because you're not getting double charged.
No, it's gonna be the same, but you gotta pull that information.
Yeah.
You gotta pull.
I mean, like the way I do it, I just pop them all into one account. Most of them, they don't go into the account. So it's just all one. I mean, I just gotta kind of watch the minutes basically on the accounts.
Does the number purchase from Twilio or the other one which you mentioned, do they charge per minute, or it is just for the number that we are purchasing there?
Per minute.
You can charge the number and the telephony minute, and then we will charge you for the LLM and the voice agent. But that's why, like, you as the agency will get 2 billings, and then you gotta match those, and then charge whatever extra you want for the client.
And Alex, that is accurate. Then, if we import a SIP trunk like that, we don't get charged for the minute usage through the number.
No, you're going to be billed through whatever. You are going to be billed through whatever platform.
Tony, if you go in, did you see that little thing that he showed? He had options like choose your own LLM or bring your phone number in, and then it changed. If you look on the top right corner, it changes the per minute.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Yeah. So then it update. So then if you use your own number, then it went down by like 5 cents.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you'll see that the pricing right here.
Yeah, right here.
So telephony, you'll notice.
I see.
18, right? And if I use
right up, up on top,
15,
right
it's
up
15, but you're going to get billed. So yeah.
Is there any plans to add more numbers to buy from retail, Alex, by any chance? We wish in this format.
I have to figure out. I think I will have to find out on that. I'm not sure what the plans on that or what the roadmap on that looks like, to be frank.
All right, that's good.
Probably a priority thing.
I think the issue is like maybe I don't know. Yeah, I'm not even gonna comment on it. I think I'll check for you.
Well, definitely lots to think about now. Holy crap.
Yeah. Well, any other question, guys? Anything else? Otherwise, I'm gonna hop off here.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Alex.
Oh, this is great. This is cool. I'm impressed.
Yeah, no problem, guys. So, yeah, I will be here tomorrow again, same time, 1 p.m. Yeah.
I think your times are off on that on the calendar in LinkedIn. Like where you signed up on LinkedIn, so you can register on LinkedIn on the.
Okay, it did show 1 p.m. for me.
My calendar went in for tomorrow at.
Yeah, it says 1 p.m.
4 to 5. I wonder why. I just moved it. All right.
So yeah. Anyways, guys, I'll be here tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll pick up. We'll do something else.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And will the recordings be uploaded only in YouTube, or is there any other place where we can check all the recordings?
School.
They will be in YouTube and they will be in school. I'm gonna put some work into it today, guys. I swear. I'll put some work into it.
The old ones, I found your Notion templates or whatever those are actually fantastic. Like your first couple that you popped in, with the video, and then you had the templates on the side.
Yeah, and I'll pop in the new ones as well too. We had lots of recordings. We did find them. So.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask one of you guys to see if anyone had recorded, but Evie found them, so we're good. So those will be uploaded if they haven't been uploaded already. But yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Alex.
Hey, thanks for being patient with all my newbie questions. It's just there's a lot to this platform.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm glad you you got to ask them and able to provide some answers.
Yeah, I'm gonna play around more now. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Sounds good.
Catch you all later.
Talk to you later. See you tomorrow.